So hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, to quote a very, very good film and a movie. You can take your decision whether it's a film and a movie. We're here for the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. It's qualifier race number 2. My name's Matt Payne. I'm here in the studio with the one and only
Emma Martin.
Emma. Qualifier race number 2 for me is where things start to hot up a little bit. Qualifier 1, it's almost like that first day back at school. Can you remember that? First
I
day back
love
at
the
school.
analogy. I love the
It's
analogy.
like back at school and everybody's getting back into racing and into qualifying racing. Qualifier 2, I always think, is where things get a little bit more serious.
Well, serious or not, they're heading to Arabia today to the Tel Marib course. 34.7 kilometres of racing for the women today, 335 metres of climbing, or should I say 335 meters of climbing. And they come out the start pen, 3 sprints along the way. 2 categorized climbing segments, but they're not really big climbs, even though proportionally they look so on the map. They come out of the start, and then at that 2.7 kilometre marker, the Aldar HQ sprints checkpoint. Then they go second check 7.4, again a sprint. Before they go into the aquarium climb, it's 3.2 kilometres long, but has an average gradient of just 2.5%. We might see some of the riders come off the back of the groups, but it's highly unlikely we'll see an attack off the front. They then descend through to the Liwa Desert climb at the 21.5 kilometre marker. That's where the checkpoint is. A shorter climb, slightly steeper, and then that run to the finish through the Tel Marib sprint. And then, well, for me, that's the sting in the tail. 800 metres at 10%. That's the bit that's going to decide the race.
So, to summarise, fun sprint, ish climb, nasty, horrible, Matt's least favourite climb, bit of a run, another fun sprint, then a kick on an uphill sprint.
Yes, but I'll tell you something, that's not going to feel like an uphill
No.
sprint. That's going to feel like an uphill slog.
Let's see how our riders approach. So, as always on the Sunday Race Club, the women's race going before the men's race. 6 categories of women's category, 6 categories of men's category, prizes equal across men's and women's races. Category 6 are standard race category. Category 1, the elite race category. Prizes awarded per segment, per checkpoint. Also per competition, so for the overall sprint and for the overall climb competition, and of course top 10 riders across the line at the finish. Well, those are the key places if you want to be there and receive prizes in the overall, and that's per category, not just for the overall race field. All riders subject to verification across all of our race categories. And of course, if our riders want to be in a team in the finals, well, they do need to do 2 qualifying races or more. Let's take a look into category 6, because we have a huge range of riders, lots of different riders in these in this race field. And it's always, for me, it's great to see these riders. And do we have any new riders in category 6
We
today?
do. We've got 32 riders on the start sheets in category 6. Welcome to Shanna Martinuski, Rosura Haglin. She's also new to the race, and I think Gisela Gonster as well as Anta Damnis. So 4 riders at least non-new to the start sheets on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club today in category 6.
Well, it's time to go racing here on Qualifier race number 2 in October on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Our first wave of riders about to leave the start. It's time to go and head out on to the roads of Arabia, onto the Tel Marib course. All of our riders with that 34.7 kilometre course that ascends at 335 metres.
Yeah, well, Jacqueline Kirchner right up towards the front of the race at the moment. She took the win last week in qualifier 1. Daniela Londano had a brilliant race. She came through in second. Susanna Lopez took third. Katja Jaskalainen took fourth. Manon Holtman from the Netherlands took fifth. There is Jacqueline Kirchner on your screen at the moment. Last week's winner.
Indeed, and we were lucky enough to see her coming through, the line in the race. Brilliant to see back in that paint. Gave a number of riders racing together, and Jacqueline punching the air in delight. It was great to see our winners when they go over the line. And this view into the paint cave, I'm pretty sure it's a slightly different setup. It's certainly a different camera angle this time around as we see the riders just spinning away. And Kirsten now having taken that race win for me, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if she did the same again this week.
Yeah, it's a similar type of course, apart from the fact we've got that real steep climb at the end, and I think that really is going to be decisive. And it does depend who has the freshest legs when they get there. Almeida on your screen at the moment. Almeida doing a strong ride as well. Again, she's a rider that is always great to go in with. She's always got her camera on, the rider from Brazil, and we are so lucky to be able to pop into the pain caves and see those riders. And can I just say, look at the size of those weights in the background.
I know they are proper. There's some proper weight training going on there as well. Strength training really important if you are a rider and you're looking to progress, because the key thing when you're racing is putting the power down. Power really is key. Being able to do that's the overriding factor.
One of our new riders.
It is indeed. So welcome to Shanna Martinuski. Great to have you with us, and thank you very much for letting us into your pain cave as well.
On week one.
Have you on week one. Great to see you in with the bunch. I hope you enjoy today's race, and at the end of it, you've enjoyed it somewhere along the lines. There will be some tough bits, I promise you, but there's also going to be some great
Well, can
bits.
I just say, we've got 196 women on the start sheets today, which is fabulous. We've been fluctuating around 192 to 196 women. We are so close to that 200 marker, and it's great to see new riders coming on board this week throughout the men's and the women's race field. We need to bring a friend, because we've got to top that 200 marker in the women's race soon.
Are you looking to do that in October?
Well, I don't know.
Does that count as soon? Well, I'll let you think about that when we go in with Randa Cool. Randa in here. Good morning to Randa, a rider from Algeria, if I can remember the flag denomination correctly. Been practicing my flag recognition, bit of brain training for me. The riders so getting the training in, and good to see Randa Cool in action. She's been riding really well. I'm really impressed by our riders when. Week after week, they come in and they really give it everything. And Randa doing a fantastic job. And again, another great shot into the pain cave. And it just shows you the variety of different pain caves. We've got garages, we've got front rooms, we've got spare rooms, we've got offices. We have sometimes our riders outdoors,
attics.
On balconies, on attics, in basements.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You've got Spartan pain caves, you've got clutter pain caves, you've got art studios. Fantastic.
Kirsten's plants were blowing in the breeze.
Indeed, they were. Well, that is one of the key things. If you are new to riding indoors, make sure that you have a fan there. I don't just mean a member of the family shouting and cheering in the background. Something to cool you down is essential. Well, it's 5 minutes, almost 4 minutes of elapsed, which means that 5 minutes after Category 6, Category 5 will start. There are next riders to leave the race pens. The squads on your screens with Alexandra Knowles, our resident artist. Maybe we should have a resident artist title. I think it goes to
Alexandra Knowles.
Somebody's going to have to come along with some serious artwork to beat that. Category 5, great race field, and another field where lots of riders could well figure.
Yeah, so Category 5 down the start pen as we just see Category 6 go through that first sprint checkpoint, and no surprises, Jessica Hamilton. Well, she's leading the pack through.
She is indeed. She really does specialise in that. Let's just dive back in with Category 5 and get those riders out from the pens. Another of our race fields that it's that first step up from Category 6. They're about to hit the roads here. If you had one word of advice for our Category 5 riders, what would it be, Emma?
Keep in the draft for as long as possible today, and try and only poke your nose out on the Liwa Desert climb and the final climb overall.
Okay, there you go. Giving away Emma's race tactics.
That would be my race tactics today if I wasn't sat in the commentary box.
Yeah, if you ever race Emma on this course, you now know what she's going to do. You heard
Attempt.
it here first. Well, attempt to do. Already seeing a big kick out from the start. Now, let's talk about the riders a little bit more in depth in Category 5.
Yes, we've got 29 riders on the start sheets today. Last week, Ting Lu took the win. She's moved up to Category 4, so fabulous to see her progress.
And it was great to see, again, that emotion from Ting Lu.
She was so pleased.
You could just see what it meant to her to take that win. And that's what we got to remember, I think. Although the Sunday Race Club is happening week in, week out, every single Sunday. The emotion that the riders, when you take that victory, when you put a performance in wherever that is, and you put in a great performance, it means so much.
It does indeed. And Daniela Giraldo took second, Claudia Gentili took third, Katie Bago, then Isabel Alzat. Tanya Holweiler could well, I think, be looking forward to this course today. She is one of the women who could be there or thereabouts at the end.
I'm going to predict somewhere between 5th and 7th place.
Oh,
pretty tight prediction today. I would love to see Tanya Holweiler take the win, but I don't know on this course with it's such a lottery for me, this course, in much more than a lot of the courses. Some of the courses are really tough, and that's where I think Tanya Holweiler scores, where it's really tough. Today, it's not such a tough course, and it's going to maybe leave more riders in that selection at the end, which then makes it more of a lottery coming into the finish.
Well, the first thing the riders in Category 5 are going to see in terms of segments is our Aldar HQ Sprint. It comes at the 2.5 kilometre marker, which is pretty much at around the 4.5 to 5 minute point, which is why we saw the overlap in Category 6 into the start of Category 5 going through that point. For me, here, Natalia Idzik has got to be one of the favourites for that sprint competition. As we drop in with Alexandra Knowles.
With even more casquettes, and that is a Mapai cap.
Well, she's one of the nicest ones, I think. It's hard to call your favourites.
It's one of my favourites. I was looking back at a 1995 Mapai yearbook.
Were you?
Yep. It's a solid, hard-backed, I want to say A3, but it's a little bit smaller than A3, but bigger than A4, hardback, and it had the Mapai book. Some fantastic photographs in there, some fantastic pictures. And I was looking at it for a reason, because I was thinking that it might be why one of the pictures in there I might want Alexandra Knowles to do a painting of.
Oh, you mean you've been looking for a commission for Alexandra Knowles?
I have.
Have you got in contact with Alexandra Knowles to see whether she takes commissions?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not done any. Not done any of the important bits.
Just dreaming.
Just dreaming at the moment. Dreaming of what pictures I would have. Today's question. We did a load of questions for the teams last week. Thank you everybody who got in touch.
They did.
They did indeed. We might go into that later, but we might not, because some of the answers are definitely not repeatable.
That's so unfair.
Thank you everybody who got in touch. Today's question is going to be really simple. I'm full of questions. October is the month of Matt's questions.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's scary, isn't it? My question is one question today. If you could commission an artwork,
what would you commission?
What would you commission? It has to be cycling related, obviously. What would it be? Would it be a picture of one of our cycling esports world champions claiming their title? Kate McCarthy or Jason Osborne for 2024. Would it be a picture maybe of you on the bike? Would it be your heroes? I mean, they do say never meet your heroes, and I think that can be true if you see them out of context, but when you see them in context, it's definitely great. Well, Category 4 just waiting as Category 5 come into the sprint. Big kick coming down on the sprint of the moment, and Emma Natalia is absolutely flying on the way through the start there. So looking very, very strong indeed, taking away that segment prize there. So Emma's prediction coming true as we move across to Category 4. Category 4, again, a selection of teams that are starting to be represented here today. Team Lou, as you said, Emma, moving up into Category 4.
She has done indeed. 35 riders on the start sheet. So I was going to say it's our biggest race field, but it's not. Category 2 is, as the final seconds tick down, and the riders will be away. So away go Category 4. It was Isabella Kawazuska who took the win last week. She's on the start sheets again today. Larissa Highball came through for second. Karen Manchando de Pavia took third. That was a great race, actually. It really was good. A big sprint between those three. It was just so close. Geneva Ellos was in the mix as well. She took fourth. Maria Hallmark took Louisa Schultz just outside the top 5, along with Rebecca Johnson, but just 3 seconds top 8 in Category 4 last week.
And Category 4 is brilliant. I loved the way that riders were going early in for the sprint, really going hard. It was very much about timing. Some great racing, some great results in there. We're in with German Prado, one of our races on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, and a rider who we know is always going to be riding strongly for the Philippines here today. Multi-time national champion on the road, and a rider who we know give her sight of that finishing gantry with that leading group, and she will give it absolutely everything. I'm not sure whether German Predator has targeted today's race particularly, but for me, she's a rider who always seems to go better in a big race, in a final. Some riders are championship riders. They seem the gear when
Yeah, I
there's a
agree with that.
title at stake or when you're going into a finals.
But also, there are some riders who make them their gold star races of the day.
We certainly, I would entirely, Emma. So let's watch category 4 as they make their way in, heading towards that sprint. Sprint making the way in and along at the moment. We're just in with the Pavia. She was on fire on those sprints, Emma.
Yeah, she was really, really strong last week, and fabulous to see her in the mix again. Now, this is a steady, steady start at the moment. You can see we're in with De Pavia, zone 1, zone 2 work at the moment. Looking, it's a very, very steady start. The pack wide across the road. And one of the things I love about cycling esports is it's just so obvious to see by looking at the group. And it's the same on the road. When you see a long, thin line of riders, the pace is on at the front. When you see a group pack wide across the road, it's a steady state at the moment. We're in with Gina De Grazia. She's currently sat around, 2.4 watts per kilo. For her, that's zone 3. You can see that on the top right-hand corner of your screen. The zone bar. Zone 1, very, very easy recovery pace. Right up to zone 6, and there is Gina De Grazia on your screen, because the pace is on now. Now that first sprint doesn't come to 2.5k. They've gone long here, 600 meters out, and the pace is really starting to push. Now take a look. De Grazia, you can see there on your screen, just sat back down in the pack. And even if you're not contending the sprint checkpoint, you don't want to lose the group. So you've got to put an effort in. You've got to push up to around zone 5 to stay in the pack.
Well, right in the very front, a long run for the line by Jennifer Elos. Elos at the moment leading this out. Schultz, I think, is the rider likely to come up here with Kong and Vojakova. At the moment, they're fading. Rider after rider is having a go, and they're not able to keep this sustained. The problem is for Elos, it's a long, long way round this corner, and the group are coming. They're going to be on her heels. She needs to find another gear. She needs to dig again. And the second kick, look at the push as Lam Kong goes over the top. It's great to see Lam Kong coming back into form here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Kong goes over the top here in underneath the sprint banner. She'll take that sprint segment. Great riding by Lam Kong. We're taking away the sprint segment in category 4 from Kawasuska, Montoya, Elos, and Corral is rounding out the top 5.
Well, sometimes going long works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, let's move from category 4 to category 3. The teams in here, I say well done to the Riot squad. Riot squad with Russell, Balawa, Litton, and Real, already with 4 riders in the group here. So well done to them. Already filled in a full squad, a full team.
Well, I think one of the lovely things that we're really now starting to see is that the squads are permanent squads. They're not moving, they're not shifting. And the teams like Riot have got teams in multiple categories, which allow riders to move up and move down, but stay in the same team.
So, despite the ups and downs, the swings and roundabouts of racing, the form going up, the form going down, the improvements happening, the changes in categories, the squads putting out riders across race categories. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us on the live chat on MyWhoosh YouTube, the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club streamed on Twitch TV and YouTube. We monitor the YouTube channel as for that live chat as much as we can, in between watching all the other multiple screens for the racing, the results, and of course making sure that we check out what everybody's been up to as well. Category 3, always a great race. We saw Julia Montgomery absolutely blisteringly on form. Like, the question for me in Category 3 really is, on this course, with all these riders being so closely matched, what skill is it going to be? Is it going to be somebody like Angel Hadlock, who has got that all-round ability?
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see, and Hadlock could well be there should she choose to. Again, I think that comes back to which races you're targeting. But she was, well, she's in the second group last week coming into the finish, but the first group, well, 2 seconds separated the top 9 riders in Category 3. Julia Montgomery took the win. Eva Essler was in second, Anna Russell in third, Patty Kienberger in fourth, and Amy Bradley in fifth. It was seriously close. Hadlock pretty much led the second group on the road and took 13th place overall last week.
And it was about that split, wasn't it, that occurred? It really did change the makeup of the racing. Meanwhile, just going to drop in as we go into sprint number 2 with Category 5, because Natalia is making it 2 out of 2 here, up against Joanna Warren, with Alexandra Knowles leading the chase behind here at the moment as they come in through the line. 1 or 2 riders distanced by that acceleration and losing contact with the group.
And I think this is what the race is really going to be about here, making sure you stay with the group. And not that I said you want to stay in the draft at the very beginning of the show, and Matt asked me what I do, but you really do. And for me, this is about riders coming off the back of the pack and not being able to stay with the accelerations that are caused by the checkpoints today, and and then final finish. Now, Lorena Beltran on your screen at the moment as we drop back in with Category 1.6 kilometre marker. They are around 850 metres out from the first sprint checkpoint as they go through Ferrari World. The no red cars in Lorena Beltran's paint cave, but brilliant white screens. It's lovely and bright, and she is indeed riding off quite a small screen there with just what looks like a tablet in front of her.
And sometimes just having that view, just focus how you race, how you feel, rather than taking in all the data. For some riders, that's just a better way of going, isn't it? You can get data overload. It's the really interesting point made by Jessica Fraser on the virtual Velocast, that one of the key strengths of cycling esports is the fact you've got so much data, but it's one of its downsides. And he said that in slightly different context, but the point applies here.
Well, Veronica Cisioka off the front of the group at the moment and really pushing to that checkpoint. And it is really interesting. I do know people who do FTP tests with a bit of tape over the screen so they can't see the numbers because you psychologically stop pushing when you get to what you think you can do. Well, Brittany Litton at the moment isn't stopping pushing, thinking what she can do. She's chasing Cisioka full bore on here. She's seeing the catch being made and she's going to potentially make the catch now.
So over the top goes Brittany Litton. Litton dies over the top. She was on storming sprint form last week. She's on storming sprint form this week. But look at this. Sabrina Horner is coming on. She's going to have to hold on. Can she hold on? Horner takes it on the line. 1 point will separate them as they go through. Just taking a check. Sabrina Horner taking away top spot from Litton in 2, Designa in 3, Cisioka in 4, and Embring in 5. But very interestingly, the time to the checkpoint from our race start to the checkpoint, the key thing for me here, exactly the same time. In fact, Category 4 fractionally faster.
I know it was good to see. Now, the steady estate starts with the all-out, full-on go, go, go for the sprints taking place as we drop back in with Category 6. Our first starting category 20 minutes ago. Martinuski, Kirchner, and Almeida on your screen at the moment. They're all part and parcel of this pack. They're all on the Aquarium climb. They are on the, they're on the foothills, should I say, of the aquarium climb. But that is where they are going next. And you can see the gradient going upwards in front of them on the top right-hand corner of your screen, which gives you that sort of satellite navigation or drone shot. Plus the grade, the yellow vertical line being where the rider we are in with at the moment is located on that.
And the red line moves from the right-hand side of the screen to the left-hand side of the screen. And you can see this sinuous ascent that takes us up the aquarium section, the underwater section indicated by the blue lines either side of the course there. And this is really the major climbing test in terms of distance, although the Leeward Desert climb with its two-step climb, I think is actually harder when you ride it because it is steeper and people, because it's shorter, I think attack it more. Here we see the attacks generally over the top of the climb of the aquarium climb, whereas it tends to be a steady push in and then a squeeze. And then when we go into the Leeward Desert climb, it's an explosion. We're back in with Mel Scriven.
We are indeed. And you know what? She's famous. She's been in the local newspaper. I saw it. It was absolutely brilliant. She was resplendent in her GB kit with a photograph. It was seriously good. I loved it.
Yeah, and notice there, just taking a look. I am noticing that she's part of the headband club, which is always a key thing. Beyond that, our screens, I'm not so sure that we get all the detail of Mel's outfit. I can't believe how close Emma's actually got to our screen in the studio.
I'm looking because I can see the GB kit in the background as well, which is fabulous. And there's a nice little bit of bike art as well, by the look of it.
Yes, indeed. So fantastic to see. Congratulations, Mel, and all of our riders who represented their relative nations in the semi-finals. Don't forget, you can watch those semi-finals back there on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. You can see Mel in action in that, as well as every week on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Mel will be quickly ticking up all of the races. She'll be adding to those totals. Now, just in with category 3 at the moment. There's a 10-minute gap between category 3 and category 2. It's the only gap which is other than
5 minutes.
Which is other than 5 minutes. The rest of the gaps all 5 minutes in there as the riders are racing and setting off from those pens. But category 3 to category 2, a 10-minute gap. Now, we're just in with Julia Montgomery, who she rode really smart and really strong as well. And it was one of those race finishes where you're almost willing all the riders to the line.
Oh, I know.
You're willing the chasers to the line, but you're also willing to make it to the finish line. And great to see Julia Elnar Payne Cave shot in here today. And I said there were some Spartan Pain Caves. Julia Montgomery going for the clean, clinical look here today. Maybe reflecting that she's going to be clean and clinical in a race finish.
Well, can I tell you, I've seen her in the gym on social media. I've seen her on a bike on a Sunday, and it really is working for her. Whatever she is doing at the moment.
Yeah, don't change it.
It's absolutely brilliant, and it is working for Julia Montgomery.
100%.
Putting in some fabulous race performances at the moment, and it is really great to watch.
Indeed, really, really good to watch. And another rider who we see representing the team and nation for cycling
Another
esports.
one of those phenomenal Swedish women.
Indeed, a massive contingent of Swedish women out and racing, and we'll see them in our finals as well in the.
You mean the World Championship finals?
World Championship finals, yeah, not just the Sunday Race Club finals, or not the Sunday Race Club finals, because I wouldn't say just. I actually think racing every week is almost in some ways just as big an achievement.
Oh now, gosh, yes.
Let's go across to category 2. The next of our race starts to go. Now, in terms of squads, we do have a number of teams. Now, by a team, I always refer to a team as not just being one rider with a team name behind them. A team is you need at least more than one person to make a team. So it needs to be 3 people by the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. So teams with 3. In category 3, it was Riot. In category 2, the Fen Cycle Collab and Riot both have riders. Shanks Eck, Thompson and Denton, they are representing the Fem Cycle Collab. And they've got Riot with Wiseman, Nyquist, Race and Lucas. But the core squad also have 4 riders. And for me, with Gonzalez, Rua, Simmons, Kuma and Giovanni, it's going to be a tough ask. Whether or not we see Hayley Simmons racing today is another matter. Because yesterday, She was racing the UCI World Gravel Championships.
There's a number
in
of
the
riders.
elite race category.
There's a number of riders from the Sunday Race Club that have been part and parcel of that Gravel World Championships. The women's was yesterday, the men's is today. But Hayley Simmons, I have seen on her social media her setting up and warming up for the Sunday Race Club this morning.
Oh, what a hero.
After that Gravel World
What a
Championship
hero.
race yesterday. So I'm hoping she's made it.
She has. She's
she
on the
has.
screens.
I can see it. She's
Excellent.
on the screens. Love it. Good racing, Hayley. I hope you enjoyed the gravel roads of the Netherlands yesterday, and I hope you are enjoying already the start here on Tel Marib in Arabia.
Do you know what the Gravel World Championships were like? It was like a Sunday race club in the men's category 5 and 6. And the reason I say that is because it was a tarmac start, and it was absolute lunacy from the start for the first 5K just to be in position. And then it kind of settled down a bit. Now, in with Heather Shanks, one of our regular riders. Another change. I tell you what, we used to have a rider. We used to run a regular cycling esports ride all the way through COVID for about 5 years. We had a rider there who would always have a different outfit. Every single time we saw them. Heather Shanks at the moment is heading in that direction. With sartorially elegant as always. This time, it's another different jersey.
Nice, though.
And colour coordinated. I do like a colour coordinated cycling kit setup.
Yeah, absolutely. And the the hydration on the side, you can see it there. She's organised, she's sorted.
And she's still got the sign at the side there as well with the Go Shanks Go sign, which was there for the semi-finals from the cheerleading club and fan club of the Heather Shanks Appreciation Club.
Oh, look at that. Hayley Simmons is on the front of the pack.
Well,
not just content with being here, she's leading the group.
Yesterday was a tough day for a lot of riders, but a lot of people, 3,000 riders riding the Gravel World Championships. It goes to Australia next year, then it goes to Alula past the Elephant Rock. Where we go to. It does indeed.
Oh my gosh, I think I might
time.
have to qualify for the Gravel World Champs
in 2027 because it is in Alula in Saudi Arabia, and it
does
go past the Elephant Rock as well. Apparently.
Oh yeah, because the women's is on the Saturday, isn't it? So I could still do the Sunday Race Club, which means I could actually go. Okay, right, I've got my target. 2 years' time, I'm going to qualify for the Gravel World Champs in my age category because I want to ride past the Elephant Rock.
Well, you've always said that every time we go past it on the Sunday
it's
Race
done.
Club.
Okay, it's out there. It's public. I've got 2 years to get fit enough to qualify in my age category.
Yes.
I'm just trying to work out whether it be an age category higher up than the one I'm in now.
Whilst Emily does the maths about which is quite substantial maths when you work out your age when you're as old as Emma is.
Thank you.
But she's still younger than me. Just so the riders out on our screens now. Emily Nyquist, one rider proving that you can race week in, week out, and be absolutely storming week in, week out as well. Emily Nyquist had a good race last time out in Category 2. Always a rider in Category 2 who. For me, just ride smart as well as ride strong. A 5th place, so in the prizes, because it's top 10 riders in each race category with the prizes. And for me, the rider of the week, though, has to be Asulia Kasani, who took the race win, because there were some fearsome sprinters that she put to the sword.
Well, let me just put it this way. 14 riders in Category 1 last week went into the sprint together. 1 second separated those 14 riders. That is how close it was. You're right. Asulia Kasani came out on top. Jennifer Gothlander in 2. Dorothy Gonzalez Rua in 3. You know, we would expect those 3 riders to be right up there in a sprint. Serena Vittori was in the mix. And then Emily Nyquist in 5th place. Nyquist, for me, you know, she's a really strong rider and she's showing how well she's progressed into Category 2. Gothlander, you know, well, I'm wondering whether she's targeting the finish today because she's not gone for the sprint.
Indeed, very unusual not to see Gothlander going in for that sprint to try and take away the sprint result. Category 2 making the way in and through. But Category 1, our next set of riders are waiting to go. Now, we have more representation of teams. Ablock International with 5 riders, Korchinski, Hermansen, Holcroft, McCarthy, Soderstrom. The FCC Endorphins with Kiel, Tomasi, Koistonen and Brown. The Fem Cycle Club 1 squad with Lethbridge, Van der Vliet, Moroz, Gurre and Susnik. Supernova have 3 riders. That's Kalman, Kolkowitz and Field. The Breakaways, they have 4. Van Hove, Alberg, Van Heuling and Bjarhead. And great to see teams where we've got teams across categories.
Yes.
And that's always great to see in the finals. And I probably don't mention enough in the finals the teams that are across all categories. So, like Cycling District is a great example across, because actually, in terms of the men's and the women's, I think I haven't seen yet anybody get all of them, as it were, a full house of all 12 categories, but a number of teams do that in the categories, and Fem Cycle Club are doing that, I think,
across
in the last
the
finals across the women's.
Yep.
Not technically in teams today, because they don't have teams of 3 across everything, but representation, albeit one
in all
some
6
of them
categories.
in all 6 categories, albeit not a team, because teams, for me, always need to have more than one. You can't be a team of 1.
There's no I in team, I think they say, don't they? But
There's
a me.
There's no I in 1 either.
Well, Tilly Field on our screens at the moment. She's in the race field. She's also on your screen at the moment. 30 riders in the Category 1 race today on the start sheets. Tilly Field right in the mix on this start here. A nice steady start in Category 1 at the moment. Now, the course record is held by Maria Holdcroft. 53 minutes, 33 seconds. That has not been broken. This is the 4th time we've raced this course, and it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top today.
It is indeed. Now, in with Tilly Field, just taking a little bit of a look in. I'm going to put money that is either a kitchen or a dining room, or a through kitchen dining room.
An open room.
Yes, with the lights in the ceiling there and the sideboard.
There
we go. There we go. My room recognition skills are improving. But I always think that actually kitchen dining rooms are really good, because when you're really working hard, sorry, Tilly, for this, but when I'm working hard on the bike, on the turbo trainer, I like to have a solid surface underneath, because when I'm giving it a sprint, it doesn't rock, it doesn't move, you're not wasting power. And also because I tend to get warm, I have my own microclimate, and therefore having a non-absorbent floor is quite a good move.
Okay, I don't want to know how much power you can put out in a sprint, idiot, because I'm too jealous.
Well, not at the moment. I probably couldn't put out 2,000 plus watts, but it has been known like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and Liz Van Heuling, she can put out some watts in the sprint,
Oh, my goodness me, yeah. Fantastic racing. It's great to see Liz Van Heuling back on form once again, really riding well.
She took 4th place last week on the Sunday race card, but absolutely brilliant racing. Kate McCarthy took the win, Catherine Furr in 2, Gabby Guerre in 3, Liz Van Heuling in 4, and Kristen Kolczynski in 5. In fact, the riders from the USA packed 4th, 5th and 6th, because Elise Gallegos took 6th place last week. This weekend, Ironman, Hawaii. Elise Gallegos, she did that yesterday.
It is indeed, and well, am I right in thinking that
it was so hot?
Yeah, that Lucy Charles Barkley pulled out from the
heat exhaustion. Yeah,
from heat exhaustion.
Yep, and a lot of riders did. A lot of racers did, because but Elise Gallegos completed the race.
Oh, just massive respect.
Around 10.5 hours, I think.
That anybody who completes triathlon, one, I think you're absolutely crazy, full stop. It is an absolutely mental sport. I have the utmost respect for you, but at the same time, I think you're absolutely mad.
There's a lot of them that do the Sunday Race Cup, you know.
I know, so I do. I have a lot of respect, but I still think you're absolutely crazy, because I think it's a crazy sport. It's hard enough training for one sport, never mind effectively 3 in 1, and then to do that on an Ironman distance. And then to go to Hawaii and do the Ironman. I mean, that is the stuff that dreams are made of. To have that fitness and ability just to qualify, just to get in, never mind to actually complete
but
it.
A number of our Sunday Race Club riders, you know, we say this weekend, out on the gravel, out on the Ironman in Hawaii. Merle Bruni also there as well. But at the moment, it's Anna Svadsström versus Lisa Hermansen versus Tilly Field for the first sprint checkpoint today. And it's Svadsström who's going to take them underneath the banner in 1. Field, then Hermansen going through. Nice move. Great run from Anna Svadsström there, going early and holding the pace.
Yeah, good to see Tilly Field harnessing the mat in the through lounge stroke kitchen.
There you go.
Yes, always good. Always good. Right. Just taking a little bit of a look on the chat. Brilliant to see. Just had a little post there from Mel. Emma, would you like to read that out
From
whilst
where?
we a little post from Mel in response
I
there?
did.
I'm going to let you get ready to read that out. We're just going to take a quick look at the time through the sprint checkpoint. And for me, one of the key things here, category 1 are on a pretty pedestrian pace on the way through. They have been beaten by all but one of our race categories to the checkpoint time. And in fact, they were nearly in danger of being the slowest set of riders to the checkpoint. Category 1 clearly having a gradual start to the day.
Yes, they are indeed. And there's nothing wrong with that because I tell you something, the fireworks will be lit at some point.
Well, it was always the joke when you progress through the race categories from category through the race categories as a road racer. When I was racing from category 4, which was the base, to right the way through to category 1, which was the top at the time, and actually. You always knew that when you were in the lower categories, it was going to go crazy at the start, and then everybody would blow their socks off, and then you'd be all right after that.
Well, at the moment, Kate McCarthy, Francesca Tomassi, Gabby Guerra, and Catherine Fu are all on our screens. You can see into all of those resplendent pain caves that the riders are racing for. 4 riders who I think will all be in the mix on that final climb today. Well, dropping back in with category 4, they're at the 15.3 kilometre marker. They are pushing for that polka dot banner. That was the aquarium climb. And it looks like it's Majewska who's going to take on the polka dot skin suit. It is indeed Diana Corrales, Isabella Karwazewska, Lam Kong, and Camilla Salgado coming through afterwards. So look at the stretch on that group.
It is indeed 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points at 50% of the climb checkpoints done. That's category 4. It was Knowles taking the 5 points in category 5 from Bago, who takes 4 points, Loxley, who takes 3, Hawala, who takes 2, and Isaac, who takes 1 point. And then in category 6, it was Liz Misson taking maximum points from Randa Cahul, from Shanna Martinez, and then Hagelin and Yeskalena rounding out the top 5 in category 6, going over the top.
Well, category 4 riders on our screen at the moment, and the group reforming at the front. Rebecca Johnson, you can see her in the pain cave. Beautiful sunshine coming through the window. They're at the top of the climb, and the group is reforming. Now, last week, Rebecca Johnson raced the Sunday Race Cup, and then she went and got on her horse. This is one of the questions you asked. Do you remember?
Yes, it was.
About whether she rode and raced a motorcycle as well.
Yes.
And she quickly got back to me and said, no, she wasn't brave enough. But then she told me she was out doing some like cross-country racing as a team with a friend. So 2 horses together going round the course at the same time. She's not brave enough to ride a mountain bike, but she's brave enough
a motorbike,
but she's brave enough to cross-country race in a pair, side by side, on a horse.
Yes.
Horses have minds of their own. Motorbikes don't.
Yes, I would give me a motorbike rather than a horse anytime. I have tried both. I know which one I was more successful at, and I wasn't very good at either, to be honest.
Well,
but I'll get on a motorbike again. I'm not getting on a horse again, that's for sure. No, fantastic. You love watching the question, I have to say. Love watching all sorts of sport, but a question there. We're just going to quickly fly back to Mel Scriven, who we saw earlier on, who we said had been immortalised in print.
Yes, she'd been in the local newspaper.
And was famous.
And can I just say, Mel Scriven, I mean, I think she's a fabulous woman, but she also puts chat on the screen while she's racing. There she is. How she's got time to race and chat at the same time. But apparently she says she's not so famous. Only the postman has recognised her so far. He did ask for her signature, but she thinks that was for a parcel. I don't think it was for a parcel, Mel. I think it's because he recognised you from the newspaper. Now, can I just also say Heather Shanks is also Scottish,
and
so
famous.
is Mel, and I think they must actually live fairly close to each other.
Let us know if you are close to each other, and let us know if you are close to Falkirk, because one of the Full Speed Events team is going to Falkirk. No, there's a shake of the head.
They're in Argyll.
I know, it's a long way.
Scotland is a big country,
it is.
you know.
I don't even know how long it is. Yeah.
No, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know, Heather? I don't actually have the. My sign language is appalling, I have to say. So, no, we actually have a
Can
team.
I just apologise for your knowledge of Scotland?
Yeah, do you know what? Most of the time I've been asleep whilst I've travelled in Scotland. I've been to lots of places, but in between, I've tried to sleep in the car in between the various places, except when I was driving, of course. But we do actually have a team member of the Full Speed Events team
Crew,
going up to Scotland to Falkirk
next
week for the National Trophy Cyclocross. Not riding, but working. Up there, so great to be up there. So if you're up there, let us know. If anybody's watching and you're going to Falkirk, let us know. We'll tell you what it looks like, and you can go up and say,
It's
"Hi,
beautiful.
you are X, Y, and Z," and we'll then thoroughly embarrass him.
Well, Rhiannon Denton in the mix here, Pia Kuma, Sophie Ramett, all in this Category 2 race. They're at the 9.7 kilometre marker. They're moving towards the Aquarium Climb. Holly Bergin in the mix as well. She's now progressed back to Category 2. Rhiannon Denton on our screen at the moment. Great to see her in the mix. And again, do you know, it's lovely and sunny where everybody is at the moment. Look at that sunshine coming through the window.
It's not lovely and sunny. It's nighttime in some places.
Yeah, I know, but
Rhiannon Denton, look, you can see out there the sun blazing down.
She's in the UK. It's October and it's sunny. It's a miracle.
Put the date in your diary very quickly. It doesn't happen all the time. It certainly doesn't happen all that often in October. But you know what? When it does, it's absolutely stunning. Thank you, everybody, for the views into your pancakes. Now, Category 2 at the moment at the 10.2 kilometre marker. And that means that they are not that far from heading in towards the climb of the Aquarium Climb. Category 3 have gone over the top of the Aquarium Climb. Do you want to bring us to the top 5, Emma?
Yeah, Julia Montgomery picking up the top spot and the 5 points, and she'll be wearing the polka dot skin suit. Brittany Lytton going through in 2, and a Russell in 3. Those three riders doing brilliantly at the moment.
And then the top 5 points rounded out by
Patty Keinberger and Jennifer Reel.
And am I right in thinking that there was a good-sized gap between Montgomery and Lytton as she went over the top? About a second or so.
A second. That's not a good-sized gap. It's a second.
It's enough.
Well, it could well be. Now, take a look at this, because this is Category 1. This is sprint number 2. And Svanström, Hermansen and Kiddle in the mix there. Anna Svanström in that green skin suit going through at the front. But Kiddle and Hermansen, well, do you know, they really have put a stretch on the group. And these 3 riders clear at the moment, contending the sprint. The rest of the pack not engaging.
Indeed, they're not now. Our riders on the screen. Sabrina Horner taking away top spot in Category 3, faster than Category 1. Tennille also taking the top spot in Category 2, faster than Category 1.
Yep.
Guess what? So was Category 4, Diana Corrales. Category 5, Natalia Ridzik. In fact, all but one of our race categories, which is Category 6, beasting Category 1. And good to see Anta Denise going through,
one of our new riders
away the sprint segment. And on first Sunday Race Club, we'll be grabbing hold of that segment prize. So congratulations on doing that on your first Sunday Race Club. Great achievement.
Brilliant, and great to see the new riders not sitting back and taking a look and wondering what happens, but giving it full bore and going for it.
And I do think when you have the power passport to do, it really does get you into you're not just going in cold. You've got to have ridden a bit, you know, and I think it's something that really does show, whether you're in Category 6, Category 1, the skills of the riders are very, very impressive indeed. So at the moment, we just got a multitude of categories on our screen, just in from Category 1 at top left-hand side of your screen to Category 4 bottom right-hand side of your screen. Category 4 at the moment, that looks to me like that is the Leeward Desert Climb, if I'm not much mistaken.
It is.
I have those rows etched into my memory banks, so suffering up there on a number of occasions.
It's all right. I'm still thinking about the Elephant Rock in 2027.
Meanwhile, maybe you should turn our attention back to the race in Category 2, just taking the right-hand turn that takes them up on to the climb, heading up over the top. Now, Let's see who is going to take away the prizes in category 2, going over the top. We've seen category 3 to category 6 go over the top of the aquarium climb. The desert, the Leeward Desert climb, the climb that comes after. The leaders in category 6 at the moment, Radhika Hall, right in that group at the moment. And she actually took the fastest time up and the fastest time through the checkpoint. So Radhika Hall with the climb skin suit, and because those are both our climbs done, that means that Radhika Hall is our climbs winner overall as well. So congratulations, Randa.
And she's in that leading group of 5 in the category 6 race. Now, the transition here to the finish, pretty much a flat run. They go through the Tel Marib sprint at the 29.8 kilometre marker. Well, that's where it starts. And then into that final climb. Now, Radhika Hall's got to be keeping her eyes on that final climb. She's climbing strongly today, as evidenced by that polka dot skin suit. It's going to be an interesting finish, an interesting finale. They're a minute clear of the chase group behind.
And that is now a group of 5. When they went over the top of the Leeward Desert climb, they actually had 2 other riders, and that was Liz Smith.
No, she's in that leading group. You can't count, can you?
No, it's moving. The screen's moving faster than I can count, actually. So I'm just going to do a double check. 2, 4, 5. Yeah. So as they went over, the gap though was only a matter of 5 seconds.
Yeah, but
and now it's 55.
Well,
and it just shows you those leaders really are pushing on.
What's also interesting, and the reason they're pushing on, is because this is a leading group in category 5, and they're coming onto the back of the chase group in category 6. So they're about 30 seconds down on Al Mansouri and Londano, who are the riders chasing the leading group of 5. Now, this category 5 group sweeping up the chasers in category 6, it's swelling to a big group of riders. The flat nature of the terrain means that the category 6 riders should be able to hold the draft if they practice their drafting skills on the back of that group, and may well take a tow up the road.
They may well take a tow up the road. For me, it's going to be absolutely key that they get the catch right. Jumping on board, catching the train as it comes past does require some practice to get that timing right, to accelerate up at the right time and jump in. And that's going to be key. We're just seeing Angelica Limburger at the moment. The next rider to get caught by the leaders in category 5. And this is where Limburger needs to make sure that she gets this right, because otherwise the riders that have already been caught by category 5 will overtake her and leave her behind. And so this catch, making the catch, jumping on board is absolutely key. And so let's see Limburger just being picked up by this group. You can just see the watts going up from 2.4 to 3.1 watts per kilo. Putting that kick in there, gets into the draft and looking good at the moment. So got herself tucked inside that group, just holding the draft. The watts numbers at the top center of your screen in green. Fantastic job done.
Yeah, and it really is a technique, and you're right, Matt. You really do have to practice to get it right. The Category 5 race and the Category 6 race coming now towards the final stages of this course here in Arabia on the Tel Marib course. The transition from the Leeward Desert climb to the finish, and that 5-rider pack on the right-hand side of your screen at 26.1 kilometres. Wow, it's just 800 meters separating them, and that category 5 pack are bringing the group back. They've got Al Mansouri and they've got Londo ahead of them. They're the next 2 riders for this category 5 pack to catch. And then it's just the group of 5 on the right-hand side of your screen, clear. And, can they stay clear? That is the question. They're at the 36.3 kilometre marker. The finish at 34.7. It's going to be a close race. Now, another close race, Category 2. They are some way back down the road on the aquarium climb at the moment. They are 1.2 kilometres from the top, and the pack is rolling. Sophie Giovanni sat deeply in the saddle in her pain cave. Rihanna Denton, Emily Nyquist, both up and out of the saddle on the middle of your screen. Ruti Rees just sits back down and continues to tap her rhythm. All of them in the leading group in Category 2. You can see the gradient on the top right-hand corner of the screen are just shy of 4%. Now, a little bit further back in the Category 1 race, they are indeed, well, they're on the rollers at the moment before the aquarium climb. The aquarium climb starts in around 400 metres. But Kate McCarthy has gone early. Interesting move. So she's gone early into the aquarium climb. There she is on your screen at the moment, setting a nice tempo rhythm. Catherine Fua leading the charge behind, trying to bring the group back. But McCarthy now goes into the climb. She pushes again and lifts the pace up to around 6.4 watts per kilo. The pack behind, 3 seconds back, have not responded yet. So Kate McCarthy launches the attack early here on the aquarium climb on Tel Marib. The pack behind happy to wait, but now Gabby Guerra not happy to wait at all. She's coming back on to big kick from Guerra, trying to bring McCarthy back into the mix. Francesca Tomasi glued to Guerra's wheel at the moment. Kolchinsky and Fua, Alberg all in the mix, but it's Guerra doing the work here, almost sprinting to bring McCarthy back. McCarthy lifts the pace again. McCarthy trying to match Guerra's pace and keep the gap. But Guerra adamant she's going to try and bring McCarthy back. McCarthy kicks again. This is an absolute battle going on the early stages of the aquarium climb. One of the inconspicuous climbs that we normally see out on the Sunday Race Club, really creating the action here because of the intention from Kate McCarthy. Well, Category 2 are coming towards the top of the climb at the 15.2 kilometre marker. It's a big pack, and the Giovanni, Denton, Nyquist and Reese all in the group. They're all up and out of the saddle now. They're driving for the polka dot banner, and boom, Jennifer Gothlander. Well, what a move. Gothlander picking up the points from Tridden, from Giovanni, from Eck. Sophie Giovanni doing a great job, but it's Jennifer Gothlander that picks up the polka dot skin suit.
Jennifer Gothlander's sprint on the end of a climb really is impressive. We've seen her sprinting for a long time, but she's transitioned that to a sprint on the top of a climb, a sprint kick going over the top of an ascent. And that really, for me, shows the pace as well, the group, because Category 3 actually got to the top of that climb in 34 minutes 58 seconds. Category 2 went over the top of that climb. Do we have a time for them over the
Category
top
2?
there?
Yeah, we do. They are slightly slower than Category 3, 26 minutes and 8 seconds.
So just a little bit of a time difference between. So 25.52 versus a 26.08. It shows you that when the pace is steady, you can explode more. You can really put that kick and that sprint down. And Jennifer Gotland has got that down to a T.
No, you can see her recovering at the moment from the effort.
Yeah, it's a real skill that really pays off to be able to kick from a lower effort, but on a climb.
And it's also about layering, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, get your sprint first, then move on, and then push on at an effort, and then utilize that sprint in a different way. Some people are really good at sprinting from a low pace. Some people are good at sprinting from a high pace. And actually, having all those tools in your kit bag, really, really useful. And layering your training so that you can get more and more tools in your kit bag, really, really useful.
And one of those skills is that catching on to the train. We saw Limbago able to do that with skill already. And as we see the catch being made here, Ms. Al-Mansouri had been absorbed within this group as well. So now keeping on pushing through. At the moment, you can just see the Category 5 group have hoovered up all but the very front of this race. So we have Martinuska along with Smithson, with Jeskalainen, Cahool and Haglin of Category 6 on the right-hand side of your screen. Cahool in that polka dot skin suit as our winner of that climbs competition. They are currently at the 29.1 kilometre marker. They're about 700 metres from our next sprint segment. That's the Tel Marib sprint section. On the left-hand side of your screen, leaders in Category 5, they are still chasing, and definitely chasing is the correct word with that difference in pace. Knowles, along with our Rye, Loxley and Co. at the moment. Meanwhile, Category 1, McCarthy, after it went to am I right in remembering? I'm not misremembering, am I? That it came to a sprint pretty much last week in Category 1.
Yes. But at the moment,
This week, it's not happening.
no, McCarthy pushed on the early stages of the aquarium climb. Guerra gave chase big style. What a push, what a drive from Gabby Guerra. She's punching her way up the aquarium climb at the moment, but McCarthy 7 seconds up the road. Tomasi, well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because Guerra is actually almost in the middle of a 7 second sandwich. 7 seconds ahead is McCarthy. Well, 6 to 7 seconds behind is Tomasi. In fact, Tomasi's actually trying to close the gap down here. Tomasi's doing a great job on the climb. Kristen Kulczynski is there. Catherine Fouad, further 2 seconds back. Liz Van Hooling, another 2 seconds back. Carolina Kolkowitz with her as well. So it's interesting to see the damage being done on the aquarium climb because of the intention of the riders and racers. And Francesca Tomasi, for me, at the moment, she's on some great form.
She is. She's really been riding that form since before the UCI World Championship semi-finals. She really came in on form into that, and then she's carried that on through. We'll talk tactics a little bit here from McCarthy in a little while, and maybe why we've seen this early push, but it is going to be McCarthy, Kate McCarthy, the defending world champion when we go to Abu Dhabi in November, who goes through first. Then it's going to be Guerra being closed down, though, by Tomasi and Kulczynski, who are at 2 seconds behind. And this is that run for the line as they go up and over the top of the aquarium climb. McCarthy from Guerra, from Kulczynski, and Tomasi taking third, Kulczynski taking fourth, Fua fifth, Van Heulen sixth, Alberg seventh, eighth, Kolkowitz ninth, Kiddle. You can see the times on your screen, and finally, category one have managed to get somewhere.
They always come to the fore at the end.
They
Kate
do.
McCarthy, 25 minutes, 26 seconds. Jennifer Gothlander, we saw her taking through category 2. Julia Montgomery, category 3. And Majuska taking through category 4. Alexandra Knowles taking through category 5. And Liz Smithson taking through category 6 on the aquarium climb.
Now let's talk tactics and this long run, this early attack, and there's no other word for it but an early attack by McCarthy, because she's known that there was a possibility. We saw the response from Guerra. McCarthy just kept on squeezing to hold off Guerra. Now, last week, first week post semi-finals, we saw a push from McCarthy in a sprint. She'd had a relatively easy week. Now she's back on, for me, long training distance, start of another building block, wants a longer effort today.
Yeah, and I think Kate McCarthy really does use the Sunday Race Club as part and parcel of her training.
Yeah.
We don't see her just try to win. We see her not just try, we see her execute strategies and give herself a really hard workout.
And that workout might be a sprint workout. It might be a long block, a long time.
Yeah, it might be a 40-minute effort.
I mean, she went there at 12K into the race?
Yes.
She's gone on 12K into a 35K race.
But Guerra now has company because Kulczynski and Tomasi have bridged the gap to Gabby Guerra. So there are now 3 of them working together, potentially, to try and close down the gap to Kate McCarthy. It's a 8-second gap, and Guerra pushing on strongly here. Kulczynski and Tomasi need to stay with her. The 3 of them they've got a descent. They go into the Leeward Desert climb, and then there's pretty much a 13K run till the next climb. 3 riders versus 1. If they work together and literally time trial it, they could close the gap. But take a look now. Kiddle, Fua, Kolkowitz closing the gap on Guerra, Kulczynski and Tomasi.
Guerra on the front there, though, when she came through at nearly 9 watts per kilo. Yeah. That's not working together. When you come through as a group, you need to come through smoothly. You don't come through like an express train. I'm sure Gabby will be putting on social media how her race went and what she was doing in that race and how she felt about it.
And her intentions.
So can't wait to see that. A lot of our riders put out some really interesting social media feeds. Do make sure you give them a follow, give them your support if they are out there. Some riders have a different policy and put nothing out there and keep themselves to themselves. And we see them literally just on the Sunday Race Club. Whichever works for you is the key thing. But for me, you had there the opportunity of those 3 working to stay clear of this big bunch behind. I think they had the ability and the strength and the skill to do that, but they've not done that. And I think the problem for me now is that they're now back in the group. The group is too big to chase. that's handing the advantage to McCarthy because I think the problem is now at the moment because there's everybody together. They all know that they could all be in with a chance. Nobody wants to work and expend too much energy compared to everybody else. They'll wait for the next climb, which is the Leeward Desert climb, and then they'll attack.
Well, 8 riders now in the chasing group. 10 seconds to McCarthy off the front as we drop in with the Category 5 race at the 32.1 kilometre marker. And Amy Loxley has gone off the front of the race. Alexander Knowles is the rider doing the chasing. The lead group of 5 in the Category 6 race are still clear by about 29 seconds. And Randa Cahool doing a phenomenal job on the front. We thought she might be because she's in that polka dot skin suit in Category 6. But Amy Loxley has gone clear and she's setting the pace and the intention in Category 5.
So Loxley from Bago, from Alray and Co. in here to Jeros. It's Goodall. It's a real mix of riders, but Loxley at the moment with a gap.
She is indeed. Now, can I just mention Seb Alray has a fan club out there, a family fan club supporting her today.
She always does. And thank you very much for all of your support for all of our riders. Thank you. If you go on to the chat on the YouTube live chat, we do keep an eye on that on the way through. And great to see that support. And Sarah Ray could be another rider who, with the parcours today, with the terrain today, could be right in the mix. Now, just on the right-hand side of your screen, Randa Cahool leading Category 6 in towards our final climb. Remember, race distance today, 34.7 kilometers. Category 6 leaders are the nearest riders to that. Category 5, it looks like Sebra Ray on the move. No sooner spoken about than on the attack. She's seen Loxley go down the road, left-hand side, is on their way through at the moment. So you can see that push at the moment coming from our race. She doesn't want to let that gap go to Loxley. She doesn't want to lose the chance of the win. Category 4, big screen at the moment, and then Category 3. They're big groups all together at the moment. They're just in the flatlands heading towards our finale. So Category 5 at the moment, just in with Sebra Alray here, and you can just see Loxley in front. That gap had gone to 6 seconds. It's down to 2 seconds at the moment. Alray, though, has pulled the rest of the group in. A number of Category 6 riders have not been able to stay with the pace, but timing is going to be key here. There is a slight descent. We're at minus 1.5% here on this descent down. It goes to about minus 1.8, if I remember right, on this descent, maybe 1.9. You don't gain a huge amount of speed, but you do gain some speed and some momentum into the kick onto the dunes.
But it is such a steep wall ahead of the riders, and it looks like such a short run to the finish line. You think, I've only got 800 meters to go, but it's the longest 800 meters in the world. Or at least it feels like it.
Yes, feels like, maybe not an actual fact. Now, taking a look on the right-hand side, these are our leaders on the road. Haglin at the moment on the front with the darker helmet, the blue cap, that is Jaskalainen, the white skin suit with the polka dots on, that is Cahool. Cahool's got the climbing ability. We know that. What can Martinuska do? What can Smithson do here? Smithson distance from this group, though, as they go on to the climbing, the run in towards the finish. Haglin is the rider who's leading this out distance. He's a relative thing, 2 seconds. He's only about 3 bike lengths on a severity when we're talking 13% slopes on the gradient here. We hit 500 meters to go. And with 500 meters to go, Cahool now comes up onto the front.
Well, Cahool is on the front, Haglin side by side. Martinuska is there as well. Jaskalainen and Smithson now gapped. It's 3 riders on the front of the Category 6 race. And Randa Cahool now starts to push on the front. And yes, you can indeed see the leading group of Category 5 coming. And Emma Sonnerson is on the front of that group at the moment.
And we saw there Martinuska really pushing, Haglin pushing, Jaskalainen pushing. But as you saw the move to the front by Cahool, you saw them dropping back. We've got Randa Cahool on our screens. You can see the effort that she's putting in. Shanna Martinuska at the moment absolutely pushing that gear. Looks like it's got into the biggest gear. She's got gear issues there. You can see her looking down at the bike. What a time to get them. Absolute disaster. Cahool, though, absolutely storming away up here. 4 watts per kilo. The banner is just about inside. It's hiding behind the tents on the left-hand side. We're in with Randa Cahull here. She's kicking on down. She's keeping an eye on that screen. She doesn't want to let that group come back to her, but I think this is looking secure now. 11 seconds to gap. Randa Cahull taking away the victory in the climbs competition now at the moment on the way up in towards the line, but never say never on this climb. We have seen leads of greater time gaps than this disappear in the last 100 meters of this race route.
Well, we may have done indeed, but she can see that UCI banner. It's a massive motivation for Randa Cahull as she continues to push and continues to drive. She just has to keep on going. She's going to be maximum outing her heart rate at the moment. Hagland 13 seconds back. Jaskalainen 15 seconds back with Smithson. The Category 5 race behind Giuliano, Goodall, Alray, all in the mix. Sonnerson was there as well, and that pack two are moving towards the line.
And they're coming, and they are coming quick. There will be a little bit of draft advantage, but not much on this slope, not at 8 kilometers an hour. Now, Cahull, will she be able to hang on to hold on to top spot? Tanya Howeiler in Category 5 is the nearest rider to her. She's got a gap on everybody else. Howeiler at the moment, well, I said it would be great if she could take the win here today, but it was such a lottery. She's got a slight gap. She's chasing down Cahull here, the only rider to stay clear. And the Category 5 leaders, Randa Cahull in Category 6 from Algeria is going to take the race victory here in the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club October Qualifier race number 2. What a ride by Cahull. She takes race victory in Category 6 behind. Is it going to be Howeiler? Is it going to be Goodall? Goodall, I think, is just going to pip her on the line. It's Goodall from Howeiler, from Alray, from Giuliano in Category 5. Category 6, Jaskalainen is going to take second place, and Haglin, I think, is going to take third.
Yes, you are indeed correct. Randa Cahull, Katja Jaskalainen, Razura Haglin, and Liz Smithson, the top 4 riders in Category 6. Those are the riders over the line. In Category 5, Hannah Goodall takes the win from Tanya Howeiler, Seba Alray, Jackie Giuliano, and Emma Sonnerson.
Now, Category 4 on the climb, we're in with Rebecca Johnson at the moment, but Agnieszka Majewska, the climbs leader, who took those climb points on the ascent of the Aquarium climb, then on the Leeward Desert climb, where she cemented that victory in the climbs competition, leading Category 4. You can see the polka dot skin suit at the front of this stream of riders on the climb behind. Diana Corrales has got her in her sights, pretty much on a wheel. Then it's Restrepo just behind, still working hard to stay in with this group. Kawazuska, the sprint winner, the green jersey, who's on the back there, and that is a danger there for the rest of the riders, because Kawazuska's sprint is phenomenal. It's going to be about who's got the sprint. You can see Johnson here wanting to stay in touch, not wanting to lose those wheels. She's 2 places ahead of Camila Salgado, who you can also see on your screen. Salgado top left, and Johnson bottom left. Johnson and Salgado, though, being distanced by the leaders Majewska, Corrales, and Kawazuska. There is time to come back, but it is running out. We are now 300 meters to go at the moment.
No, we are indeed. And Majewska, Corrales right at the front of the race, continuing to push Kawazuska, Majewska, all in the mix now. Majewska in the green skin suit. No, wrong way around. Majewska in the polka dot skin suit, Kawazuska in the green skin suit, Corrales in the red jersey.
And these 3 riders now just opening a 3-second gap on Restrepo, which is about 2 bike lengths on this climb. It's not a huge distance, but that time is what counts. And Majewska at the moment continues to push just over 5 watts per kilo. She's shown that when it comes to the climb, she's got the power, that she's able to put it down. Can Kawazuska pull something out of the bag in the last 200, now 100 meters? It's going to take a big kick here. She's going to need to sprint. I don't think there's enough left in the legs here. Corrales certainly hasn't, I don't think, and it looks to me like it's going to be a win in the polka dot skin suit in Category 4. Climbs winner and now a race winner here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club October Qualifier race number 2. Agnieszka Majewska of Poland comes in over the line to take the race victory ahead of Kawazuska, then Corrales, followed by Restrepo, and I think that's going to be Johnson, but those positions subject to change behind Corrales.
Yes, well, I've got Majewska taking the win, Kawazuska in second, Corrales in third, Restrepo coming through for fourth place, and Camilla Salgado edging out Rebecca Johnson literally on the line.
Fractions of a second, 0.2 of a second separating Salgado and Johnson as they came over. I did say it was subject to getting to the finish, and they could change, and they did. And that's one of the great things about bike racing. It's never over until you cross that finishing line. And that is the key thing. So do make sure you're on there. In fact, I'm sure I heard you say that I watched the mountain bike eliminator yesterday that came from Barcelona, and you said that actually. There.
Mountain bike eliminator racing, so anything can happen.
And it pretty much did. And if you haven't seen that City Mountain Bike YouTube channel.
Oh, it was brilliant. Now, I'm just going to, before we come into the Category 3 race, which we're in with at the moment, the Category 1 race have gone through the Leeward Desert Climb checkpoint. At that point in time, at the top of that climb, McCarthy had 20 seconds on Tomasi, Guerra and Kulczynski, the three riders who were in that chase group, and they did indeed break away on that Leeward Desert Climb from the riders who had joined them and had an 8-second gap back to Ulberg, Kiddle, Van Hooling and Fua. At the sprint checkpoint, well, they're not through there yet.
Further down the road, in fact, heading into our race finish, Category 3 with Julia Walkenhurst at the front of affairs. Patty Kaimberger just coming up on her left-hand side at the top of your screen. Valentina De Segna, who's been sprinting well with Angel Hadlock and Anna Russell inside the top of 5 here. Proust also pushing on. Lytton, the sprint winner in the mix here as well. So Brittany Lytton, bottom of your screen. You've got Angel and Hadlock in the middle on the left-hand side, and then you've got Julia Montgomery on the top left at the moment, but it is Hadlock at the moment who's looking to challenge it. Kaimberger at the front of this race, but they've got to close down the leader, and at the moment the gap has opened. It's at about 5 seconds, and no matter what Melina Proust and Angel Hadlock, Anna Russell and Co are doing at the moment, they are having to battle out some serious power here to pull the leader back.
They are indeed, and the push is on. Kaimberger, Russell, Hadlock, Walkenhurst, real now at 4 seconds as the push comes on, but Patty Kaimberger, what a move off the front. Can she hold it? She's got 300 metres to go. It's going to be the longest 300 metres. She can see the UCI banner. She's got to keep driving. As we have learned, you can be taken on the line here, and it's all about timing. And at the moment, Melaine Proust is putting in a big kick from behind.
So Kaimberger, Proust, Russell, Hadlock, Walkenhurst, Beltran, De Segna. That's the order as they come into the last 200 metres, soon to be 100 metres to go. It does ease off slightly the gradient as you go over the top here. And at the moment, Patty Kaimberger has got the gap to Proust. Proust trying to close it down desperately, but I think that is going to be a done deal here for Patty Kaimberger. She's close enough to the line now to carry that lead in through. Great riding by Kaimberger here in Category 3 on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club October Qualifier race number 2. And it's going to be Kaimberger who takes the win in Category 3 behind. Proust has kicked clear of Russell just. So it's Proust in 2. It's going to be Russell in 3. Hadlock's going to come through inside the top of 5 for 4th place. And the top 5 finish for Hadlock, and Walkenhurst, I think, will round out the top 5 with a real fight behind for the positions inside the top 10. And remember, top 10 riders receiving prizes in the individual race competition.
Wow. Paddy Kaimberger taking the win in Category 3. Melaine Proust, 2nd place. Anna Russell in 3rd. Angel Hadlock in 4th. Julia Walkenhurst in 5th. Valentina De Segna in 6th. Eva Essler in 7th. Anna Embring in 8th. Julia Montgomery taking 9th. And Lorena Beltram beating Brittany Lytton for 10th place.
Brittany Lytton taking away the green jersey as our sprint winner, and our climb competition winner, I think, is going to be Julia Montgomery. So a real spread of riders. Meanwhile, Mary-Kate McCarthy at the moment leading out the climbs competition in Category 1 that has yet to get to the next sprint competition place, to our next checkpoint. And I'm just wondering whether or not she'll be able to make it a clean sweep here of the sprint jersey and the climbs jersey and the yellow jersey. She's got a long way to go. Went at 12k, long solo breakaway move. Clearly wanted to put in that solo effort because you could see on the climb she was holding it off Guerra with Kolczynski at the moment and Tomasi. Those three riders who have a gap to Kittel, Van Heuling and Co, who are chasing at the moment. They're at 1 minute behind McCarthy, the current world champion, and will continue to be so until
November the 15th.
November the 15th, where we will see whether she can defend her jersey in style. Not easy defending a world champion's jersey. Even the great Marianne Vos will tell you that.
Well, Gabby Guerra at the moment pushing on the left-hand side of your screen at the 29.2 kilometre marker. Kolczynski and Tomasi, the two riders with her, having to dig deep to stay on her wheel.
Well, at the moment, I think Guerra not wanting to take the two riders into that final climb, putting in repeated efforts on the way through, and I'm sure there is a plan somewhere. I'm just trying to work it out there. Some interesting tactics being played here.
Nothing
by
wrong
Guerra.
with a bit of training along the way, you know.
I understand that.
They are actually coming into the sprint checkpoint.
Yes, but you just, yeah.
So Kolczynski, Guerra and Tomasi, the three riders giving chase at the moment, and Kolczynski and Tomasi catching Guerra. And you can see different types of riding, different types of strategies going on here. They are on the Pan Flatlands at the moment, coming into the Tel Marib sprint checkpoint. That's the green banner they are going under now. Guerra just popping through ahead of Kristen Kolczynski. She'll pick up 4 points there.
Yes.
In that competition.
I was wondering whether that was going to be enough to take away the lead, whether she'd done enough in the first two sprints to mean that meant that she was going to then take the green jersey, and that's why we were seeing an attack and a kick in.
Because Svardström had been riding so
because
strongly.
Svardström was so strongly back in Category 1 in the sprints previously, but it just seemed to me that it's good sprint training. It's good sprint practice. And I think that's got to be the only reason why you would attack your breakaway companions when you still have some distance to go, and you can climb like Gabby Guerra can.
Well, let's remember, practice and racing practice for the World Championships really key. But Roberta Bassoni on our screen at the moment, the rider from Italy, you can see her. You can see her sat in that leading group. It's a big leading group in Category 2. 18 riders at the moment at the 32.6 kilometre marker. They're coming up to 2k to go, and the climb is looming.
Dramatically said.
I know.
Do you think Roberta Bassoni can climb this fast enough to take the win? I do.
Well, I definitely think she can climb very strongly.
She's definitely a contender in this. If this group stays together, and it's a huge group, this is going to be an absolute all-out maximum effort.
Well, one of the things that push from Guerra did give us is the time to McCarthy through that Tel Marib sprint checkpoint. And I can tell you, well, it is around 38 seconds, the gap from McCarthy to Guerra, Kolczynski and Tomasi. And then it's a further around 40 seconds back to Ulberg, who has Fuhr, Kittel, Van Heuling and Kolkowitz with her.
So that's Category 1 race. We're in with Category 2. We've seen our Category 3, 4, 5 and 6 riders come in through in terms of the race lead. All the results are on MyWhoosh.com. It's MyWhoosh.com/results, or you can get to the results on the main menu to download all of the results. Get on there, see the time checks. You can see the checkpoint times as well. You can go through past race results as well. Whilst you're online, don't forget, make sure that you hit subscribe wherever you are watching the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club to get notified whenever MyWhoosh goes live with the racing. That will include the World Championships of the Cycling Esports for 2025, where Kate McCarthy will be defending her title. Don't forget, of course, to follow MyWhoosh. It's at MyWhoosh on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook. It is my_whoosh on X. Don't forget, of course, give Emma a follow. It's at biking_Emma. You can get in touch with me at Matt Fixer Pain. My question of the week for you is, if you were going to commission one thing, by the powers of the wonders of social media messaging, you can send a picture of it to me. And then I'll know what you actually were going to go get the picture done of. Or you could describe it. So it could be sort of Stephen Roach Delgado at the top. It could be Pauline Van Prevost taking a victory, or Voss taking a victory. It could be whoever.
Do you know what it could be? It could be me riding past the Elephant Rock at the Gravel World Championships in 2027. But I've just realised I'm going to be at the top of my age category. I might have to wait till 2028 and then I'll be the youngest in the age category.
Then it is going to be in Haute Savoie.
That's like, okay.
Yeah. Right, back to whilst Emma dreams of foreign climbs to go racing her bike with. You have to satisfy yourself with MyWhoosh and riding on MyWhoosh past the Elephant Rock. We are in with our category 2, the kick coming as we go on to the climb from Sophie Giovanni on the left-hand side of your screen in person. So in person, Sophie Giovanni on the left-hand side of your screen, and the leader on the road right behind Kate Truding pushing on in second place at the moment, with Gonzalez Ruhr in third place. Also on our screens, Gothlander at the moment dropping to fifth place. You can see the right-hand side now gets out of the saddle, kicking on down. But Sony on the way into this climb as well. She's got work to do here. So has Denton. If they want to close down on the front of this race, the gaps are starting to open, starting to stretch. This is going to be absolutely brutal at the moment, because Sophie Giovanni of France has opened up a 4-second gap on Gothlander. It's about 2 seconds back to Sopers, but it's coming down at the moment. Giovanni went early. She kicked on the very first slopes of the climb. She's absolutely giving this everything now. You can see her lead over that bike, putting down the power. Gonzalez Ruhr really dancing on those pedals, but at the moment giving away ground. Denton giving absolutely everything here, currently in fourth place. Last week's winner, Cassani, just battling with Gothlander, battling with Denton, but at the front of the race, Emily Sopers has gone over the top of Sophie Giovanni in the last 100 meters. Giovanni is going to come through inside the top 3 if she can hold on, but Emily Sopers is going to take away race victory here today. Sopers in category 2 on Qualifier 2 on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club takes race victory. It's going to be second place for Sophie Giovanni, a third place for Cornelia Engstrom as she comes in and through the line from Cassani in fourth, Denton in fifth. I think it's going to be Otto in sixth. Just waiting for confirmation.
Yes, so Emily Sopers taking the win, Sophie Giovanni in 2, Cornelia Engstrom in 3, Asulia Cassani in 4, Rhiannon Denton in 5, Tennille Otto in 6, Jennifer Gothlander in 7, Mega Manshandi in 8th, Anna Caramillo in 9th, and Elsa Haag in 10th.
Well, Kate McCarthy to everybody. The world champion out of the saddle, kicking down on those pedals, putting in a phenomenal performance here, breaking away with just 12 kilometres of the 34.7 kilometres covered. Put in that solo attack at the base of the climb, the aquarium climb, attacked through that climb, put down the power, put down the throttle, and said bye-bye to the rest of the race field. The gap now completely into minutes. It has been a phenomenal performance by McCarthy. She left it to the sprint last week. There is no leaving it to anything, no uncertainty today. What a performance. It's reminiscent for me of the ride by Pauline Van Prevost in the Tour de France Femmes this year, where she knew what she needed to do. She knew when to attack. She knew when to put the power down. She knew the critical point and what she wanted to achieve, and she set out to achieve it and did. And this is a masterclass from McCarthy in riding at a pace, using a race victory for training for that ultimate goal of that rainbow jersey. Category 1 race winner on Qualifier 2. It is the world champion, Kate McCarthy, who takes the win. You can see McCarthy absolutely spent in that pain cave.
Well,
as they say, Emma, it doesn't get easier. You just go faster.
Well, Tomasi and Guerra are battling it out here. Kristen Kolchinsky is part and parcel of the trio of riders coming in and battling for second place today. Tomasi and Guerra on your screen, both of them up and out of the saddle, dancing on those pedals. You can see the look of focus on both riders' faces here. Tomasi leading Guerra at the moment. They've got 300 metres to go. It is all uphill till that finish line. 13% at the moment under the wheels of Tomasi and Guerra. They are locked in a battle. Guerra digs. Look at the face on Gabby Guerra. Absolutely intent here to continue to push and challenge Francesca Tomasi for second place.
Very differing styles you can see on the bike. Tomasi in that bigger gear, really powering it round. Guerra winding that revs up, winding up the pace, winding up the speed. It gives her the lead from Tomasi at the moment. It puts her into second place. What has Tomasi got? Tomasi now needs to find an extra few was some more power. I think Guerra's timing it to perfection here. Guerra is going to come to the line. She's going to take second place here today. A perfectly timed climb. She dug deep. You could see it on her face when she had to answer Tomasi, but she answered her and some. Going through the line, taking second place, Gabby Guerra. Third place of Francesca Tomasi. Both riders collapse down onto those saddles and take a little bit of a rest. Fourth place goes to Kristen Kolchinsky. She's just ahead of Catherine Fua, the rider that we are in with at the moment, in fifth position. So Fua at the moment in fifth on the sprint up to the climb, the medalist from the 2024 World Championships. At the moment on your screen, you can see center of the left-hand side. That is Fua. She's going to take a fifth place here today. It's going to be a sixth place, I think, for Van Heuling. She's got enough of a gap from Kolkowitz, who will take seventh. Alberg eighth, and Kittle on the top of your screens. Inside the top 10, she will be coming in and through. I think that is going to be for ninth place. I think Emily, for eighth place as she comes through. It's just taking a double check because Alberg is in eighth.
So Camilla Alberg comes through in eighth.
Between.
Bridget Kittle comes through in ninth. The standings are on your screen.
So Kate McCarthy taking the win, 53 minutes 24 seconds.
Oh, new course record.
So the course record being broken by McCarthy. No surprises there with that long range attack and effort. Consistent effort all the way through the course is what brings fast times behind. Guerra in second, Tomasi in third, Kolchinsky in fourth, and Fua rounding out the top five. The top 10 riders on your screen. Don't forget all of the results in all of the race categories on the MyWhoosh.com webpage. Go to results. Make sure you download the app on iOS, on Android, and on Windows. You could be jumping on board, not just on the Sunday Race Club, but on the new Apex Racing League on a Tuesday. Congratulations to everybody who rode that this week. Huge numbers on there. Great to see.
Yeah, it was good. There's nearly 90 riders racing that.
Boom, straight out, first event. And some great racing. Have a look on the MyWhoosh events page for that, for the qualification requirements to get on there. This has been qualifier race number 2 for the women. Next up will be qualifier number 2 for the men. We are really looking forward to that. That's going to be another great battle across the roads. This time we're going to be in Arabia on the 7 Gems course. The course 50 kilometers with 350 meters of climbing for the men's competition. We're in the Sunday Race Club, but come back next week for qualifier race number 3. Emma Martin will be here with myself, Matt Payne, to bring you all of that action. Follow Emma at biking_Emma. Follow myself at Matt Fixer Payne. If you do want to catch up with Emma on the Bike Eliminator, that is City Mountain Bike on YouTube. Don't forget, you can catch up on the UCI YouTube channel for the Gravel World Championships. But we want you going nowhere other than getting yourselves ready to go at the Sunday Race Club on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel or on the MyWhoosh Twitch TV channel, because we have got coming up qualifier race number 2 in the men's race. Until we are back for that, enjoy your short break. Enjoy whether it is coffee, ice cream, or something savoury, which is probably Emma's preference. Enjoy yourselves. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So hello and welcome back. If you're watching the women's race earlier, hello and welcome. If you just joined us, where have you been? This is the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, and we start with the women and we're going to move on to our men's race. My name is Matt Payne. I'm here in the studio with Emma Martin. And guess what Emma's been doing in the break? If you're watching earlier, she's been thinking about gravel and going out and riding some hot training out in the UAE in preparation for riding a gravel championships on one of the courses that's on MyWhoosh. However, attention, I hope it's now back with the Sunday Race Club in Arabia on the Seven Gems
Yes,
course.
the men are heading to the Seven Gems, and they've been here a few times before. 50.3 kilometres, 50 kilometres. 300 metres, plus 351 metres of climbing today. They come out, well, it's a really innocuous course, take a look at that. Just one climbing segment, the Lewa climb checkpoint, 1 kilometre at 5%. It's rolling along the way, but it is not particularly steep. They come out of the start, they go through the Abu Dhabi sprint checkpoint at the 9.4 kilometre marker. There are 3 further sprint checkpoints after that, but they've got to get over that Lewa climb checkpoint with the leading group to contend them. And that is probably the biggest challenge of the day, because when you are in the pack, that's where you need to stay, and you need to pop your nose out at that finish at the 50.3 kilometre marker.
And the Lewa climb is a two-stage climb. The climb checkpoint, the first part of the climb, the second part kicks after a flat run in. Just a little bit further on the course, just beyond the Sheikh Khalifa Mosque sprint checkpoint, there is another depression and then a multi-rise. And those gradients are quite steep on those slopes, but it's not that long, and it does mean that if you can put repeated sprints in, you should be in with a chance of being in at the finish.
It's the repeated efforts on that middle section of the course that makes it the most challenging on this race today. A real flat-ish start, a few little tiny bumps along the way, and then that mid-section is actually the most technically challenging, particularly with those short, sharp rises, and then there's a fair run to the finish.
And the Yas Marina sprint checkpoint, always a fast checkpoint on the way in to that finish. 6 race categories with the men as we have had with the women. We also, of course, have the same prize list across men's and women's competition. So prizes for each of our checkpoints for the winners of the sprint and climbs competitions and the top 10 overall. When we get to the end of the month, if our riders have completed 2 qualifiers, then they are eligible to join a team. And the teams of 3 to 5 riders, then, well, 7 qualifying teams in those finals for prizes. Category 6 are our first set of riders away. And in terms of teams with the requisite number of riders, try saying that after 16 coffees, BMC Spinergy have already achieved that with Gibson, McMurtry and Abbott. 3 riders in their squad. 4 riders for BMC 6, Gatchek, Wakefield, Trooper and Tiger. The BMC 6ers, they have 3 riders, Bain, Farrow and Yoka Bonus. The rest of the teams, you need to find a friend fast.
Yes.
Not phone a friend, find a friend, get them on the race start.
Well, Category 6, the largest race field today on the Sunday Race Club. 71 riders in Category 6 in the men's race. 352 men on the start day. Fabulous field. Biggest race field ever. I feel like I say that every single week, but every week it gets bigger because we get new riders join. And if you are new to the Sunday Race Club today, welcome. Last week, Josh Lipka took the win. He's moved to Category 5 as Category 6 head out of the start pen. And Josh Lipka, one of those riders who joined the Sunday Race Club not that long ago, 7 or 8 weeks ago, I think, off the top of my head. And he really got to grips with the Sunday Race Club very, very quickly and has now progressed to Category 5. Lipka returning to racing after a period away. Once, I believe, he was indeed the Masters Time Trial Champion of the USA. So no slouch at all, and really starting to progress through the Sunday Race Club. Stephen Tygart took 2nd place last week. Joshua Callangad took 3rd. Sebastian Bachowski took 4th. And Gregors Gasiek took 5th place.
Now, for me, this has got Stefan Tiger written all over this race stage.
Yeah.
Great sprint. He showed that time and time again. He was your tip for potentially taking a sprint win. And it was Luca's time trialing ability, the proven time trialing ability, as he broke away on the front and then stay clear of the group, that meant he could spoil Tygart's party. I think today, the most likely thing to spoil the party is that the room that they're holding the party in isn't big enough for the volume of riders coming into the finish, because the quality of racing across all of our race categories on a course like this, I think, means that these riders are now going to find themselves in a big battle. Wojciech Sebza in here, not just wearing, obviously, one of the best kits that have been made in the history of cycling.
He's always sartorially elegant.
He is indeed, and on message as well, of course, with the UAE team jersey there, kit and cap. But of course, it will be no doubt having the appropriate water bottles, towel, turbo mat as well. But he's a rider again who I think all these riders have just such a battle on, because there are. If you want to make this hard, you need to start now, not in 10K, not at the Leeward Desert Climb. You need to make it hard from the get-go, because this is a relatively easy course
ish
if it is just ridden. If it's raced all the way, it becomes harder.
Well, the Category 6 pack have gone steady state out the start pen today, and Eduardo Sugai is
like
on the
screen.
No, I know, and that's why I mentioned it. But you can see there in the background, daylight in Brazil at the moment should. And now I do get caught out sometimes, because whilst the riders have their nationality by the side of them in terms of flag, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the country that they're racing from. So I do apologise if that's not Brazil in the background, but it is daylight where he is at the moment racing, and the push is now coming on the front a little of this group. And interesting, because the first sprint checkpoint is not till the 9.2 kilometre marker, which may well be the key reason why it's been a steady state start today, because there's nothing at the 2.5K mark.
I'll tell you where there was a little push on there. There was a little rise.
Yeah.
Just a little rise there. Just a slight increase in gradient.
A
sousson, indeed. It is un peu ascent.
A
little ascent. It is tiny. It's a mere bump in the road. But today, all those bumps add up. 351 meters of climbing in those 50K. And I think for me, today it's about maximizing your chances if you're a climber by basically making every climb section hurt. Where the moment you get an advantage, use it, and use it together, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in trouble. So the riders out and away from the pens in Category 6. We're in with one of those riders who's got to be favoured for the sprint win. Ola Warren, definitely a rider who could be in the mix in Category 6. We'll have to find out. Remember those sprints along the way for sprint checkpoints as well. For all of our categories, for Category 6 and Category 5, who are our next riders to leave the start pens. So teams with more than 3 riders in today. Well, we have got a number in Category 5. We've got the BMC squad. Cridland, Sir Mr. Lipka, and super sprinter Marius Fossier in there. Definitely a team to watch. Level up with Ben Kurt, Justin Roy, and Nathan Peterson. Definitely, again, another squad to keep your eye on. The level raiders, Lark, Tisano, Dromard, and Bertrand. Again, very strong squad, but 4 riders this time, and 4 riders for the WEZ squad, the Murato Dotto, Pence, and Sicilianus. So a real mix of nations in that squad. Who's going to take away race victory in Category 5? Well, in 35 kilometres time, we will find out. It's time for Category 5 to head out and race. Now, we've probably over-mentioned and egged the pudding that Josh Litka has gone up to Category 5, as he does it again. For me, Marius Fossier, though, this course says Marius Fossier sprint and determination and repeat sprint ability will suit him, but he's got some serious competition up here.
He does, and he did win the sprint last week to take the win in Category 5. So Marius Fossier took the win last week from Jonathan Cridland and Joel Warren. 1 second separated those 3 riders at the finish. And in fact, 4 seconds separated the top 12 riders in Category 5. Wilhelm Tooft took 4th place. Riley Milostic took 5th. Another rider who's coming on. Luke Kendall, you can see him on the screen at the moment. Nice jersey,
Evening,
actually. Like that a lot. Yeah, I know it's a nice little number. Now, Luke Kendall pushing on and pushing on here in the pack. He's right in the mix of it where he needs to be in the draft. Those watts in the middle of that white bar, green.
You notice Luke
Perfect.
Kendall, member of the Headband Club.
I know.
The MyWhoosh Headband Club, it is a thing. It will be soon.
Run by Matt Payne.
Don't own a headband.
Do you not?
Not one.
I think you're just jealous.
I'm jealous of having enough hair to put in a headband, maybe, but not of the headband itself. Let's put it that way.
No, you're a casquette guy. That's what you keep
Yes,
saying.
I am. Well, yes, but even then, I am a casket. I do, if I'm on the turbo, casket. Definitely a hat. Definitely a hat.
Alexander Luchko on our screens. Well, he's not on our screens, but the rider is highlighted on our screen at the moment. He's right to the fore of the pack. In fact, there he is, highlighted on our screens. Great to see him. Absolutely brilliant. And headwear matching
Bandana.
the colour of the Category 5 jersey.
Brilliant. Love it.
Nice move. Like that.
And Alexander's been riding stronger and stronger.
Yes.
We know he's a strong rider. He's got the power and he's making it hard from the start here. And there are riders struggling to stay with the pace that he's setting at the front of the bunch. The back of this group is shedding riders. And we're at a very early stage. We're not even 2K in. We're just about to hit Ferrari World at the moment. Taking a second, his best so far on the Sunday Race Club, a second place in what is 4 or 5 visits to Sunday Race Club so far.
So this should be, I think, his 6th participation in the Sunday Race Club. So good to see him coming in, joining us quite recently. Another one of those recent joiners, but also another one of those new riders, not afraid to give it a go.
And you can see that with Alexander on the front. Meanwhile, just in with Daniel Dotto, a part of the WEZ squad. Dotto just continuing to push. This is going to be a real fight today. I think we're going to see riders just nailing this pretty much non-stop. You can already see at the front. Again, another big push this time. It is the living legend that is Luke Allport on the run, the Australian rider looking to wind this up. His avatar with a bandana on. I did have a bandana once, yellow one.
Really?
With a pirate on it. Might have been a Marco Pantani one.
Well, there we go.
Indeed. I once raced the same stage as Marco Pantani.
Did you? It's a very sad story, Marco Pantani's story.
It is. Great climber.
Oh, phenomenal, but it's still a very sad story.
It is. My story is not as sad. It has to be said, because I had a great race on the same stage, just different race. Luke Allport on our screens, a definite legend. No bandana in person, even though his avatar has. And you can see Luke at the moment right at the front of this big pack that has shed riders. And they're continuing to answer attack after attack. It's aggressive racing. And I think that's one of the things. A lot of people say, oh, it's a flat course. There's not going to be a lot happens. Well, I actually think it's the reverse. We see more attacks on flat courses and in more unpredictable places because everybody fancies
keeps everybody
their
on their toes.
It does indeed. A bit of everything. Variety makes the variety is the spice of life, I think is the right phrase I'm looking for here.
There you go.
Right, let's go on to category 4. Next of our race field to leave the start pen. In terms of squads with big numbers, well, level golden have Gonzalez, Sola, and Solly. The riders from Spain and Norway. We also have the WEZ squad, Reinheimer, Graziano, and Lenador. We've got the WZ4 squad, that's Tapia, Casa, and Hurst. So they've got 2 squads in there. Cycling District 4 have 3, Kanosov, and Pierre, and Mukhtari. But the biggest squad, and this is why I was stumbling a little bit, because I've already looked up and seen how many people BMC Racing have. They've got 5 people. Cadiz Robinson, Sonetti, Horsley, and Kirchner.
It's a cracking squad.
It's a big squad. It's maximum numbers, 5 riders. Already getting those squads dialed in before we head out to our finals, where those team prizes come into play. We're just in with Arthur Corbani at the moment, one of our youngsters in the Category 4 race field. A rider who may well be thinking, I need to surf wheels like an absolute Hawaiian surfing god today.
Well, Corbani, I'm not quite sure he's going to be challenging his board surfer from Hawaii.
Can you surfboard, Arthur? Have you ever been on the surfboard? Let us know.
Well, but he's right in the middle of the mix where he needs to be. Those power numbers are in green. Oh, as he comes to the fore of the pack, he drops out of the draft. But he is where he needs to be. Kevin Horsley is dialing it on the front of this pack at the moment. And Horsley wants to make it fast out of the pen. Darren Slim is in the mix. Arthur Corbani is there. Jamie Velez is there as well. And one of the things I loved, I mean, there's a lot of Brazilian riders who turn up for the Sunday Race Cup, which I think is just superb. But the number of nationalities from around the world who join the Sunday Race Cup is just one of the things that makes Sundays superb. Now, Paulo Kirchner, another rider from Brazil, in fact, he's in the pack at the moment, took the win last week from Josh Zonetti. Youssef Badeau was in third. Camilo Sanchez was in fourth. Julian Hertz took fifth place. It was a massive sprint last week. 2 seconds separated the top 15 riders. Paulo Kirchner on your screen at the moment. Nice MyWhoosh jersey.
Yeah, very much so. And I have to say congratulations on the race win. It was a double race win for the Kirchner household last week. And now Paolo has the chance to move up in the household race ranking standings by if he can repeat the win, doing a double.
No pressure.
No pressure, Paolo, but you responded really well to the pressure last week. So lots of pressure, actually, to now do the double today and take a step up. I don't know about you, but in the offices for full speed events, whenever we have coffee cups, there's always a battle about who's going to not do the washing up the coffee cups. And I'm wondering if it's the same in the Kirchners as it is at full speed events. So the Kirchners,
if you win the Sunday Race Cup, you don't have to wash up the coffee cups
for a week at least.
That would be good.
Yeah.
They are indeed rolling.
There's been a lot of dirty washing.
The Category 4 riders rolling through the Ferrari showroom at the moment. Kirchner in the mix with Paul Garin, Tapia. Gordon is in there as well. Natari is the rider on the front of the group. Iglesi is in there as well as Reinheimer. The pack now settled very much, this Category 4 group. They're wide across the road. And Pulgarin is just popping up on our screens at the moment. He too is right in the mix.
He certainly is in the right place, in the middle of that pack and making the most of the shelter. Just getting out the saddle there in person, just to raise the power, just as they come up that little riser at 2 kilometres into this race route. You can see the power levels varying. They are the Z1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the zones the riders are in. Eduardo Sugai in zone 6 for a very definite reason, and that is a green archway. That's what he's looking for. Ola Warren is coming behind him, though, at 9 watts per kilo. He's the rider immediately behind our race leader, Sugai. Sugai looking for maximum points in the competition. The problem is he's got Warren coming alongside him. Warren goes past him. It's going to be 5 points to Warren, 4 for Sugai. We'll take a check on the positions behind, just waiting for our timing scoops to update with the rest of those positions.
Well, Ola Warren picking up the 5 points. Eduardo Sugai taking 4. Alex Belakov's taking 3. Sebastian Escobar taking 2. And Mikhail Kozel taking 1.
So our next race start ready to go as Ola Warren is resplendent in the green skin suit, taking the first win in that sprint competition. Category 3, the riders in here, different teams in. Now, one team really heading onto the top step of the podium in terms of getting riders in, taking away a silver medal in terms of rider numbers. It is the WEZ squad. It's Amaya D'Souza and Yannicki. But if this was the World Championships, they'd be pulling on a rainbow jersey as the team with the most. It is Level Golden, Rushma, Morgan, Omdahl, Buchowicki, and Lane. What a squad. And all 5 riders in that team to take to the start. Well, they're going to have strength in depth. They can play that team game very nicely indeed. Getting that practice in ready for our finals. Well done to all of our riders who've raced so far. Or anybody who's about to set out, don't let the nerves get to you. You're going on a bike race. It's meant to be fun at some point.
It's always fun. Getting fitter is fun. Joining your mates is fun.
It's always fun.
Riding a bike is fun. Patrick Karlstrom on our screens at the moment. He's the rider who's highlighted in the mix here in the Category 3 race. It's a big race field, 65 riders, not quite our biggest, but not far off in Category 3. And at the moment, it's Ivo Sur who is driving this on the front. Carsten Mayer and Patrick Bloom, Narbati, Daniel Moretti, all in the mix. But Sur up and off the saddle already and dancing on those pedals. I think you've started a headband trend, Matt.
Don't blame me. I was just merely being observant.
Well, Nicolas Fournier took the win last week in Category 3. Ivo Sur leading at the moment and pushing on. He's pushing on strongly
Come
here.
on, Ivo. This is what we like to see. Big kick off the front.
Ryan Duma took second place last week. Dorvin Ellos took third. Andre Notes took fourth. And Pavel Gonda took fifth. But it was a huge sprint in the Category 3 race. And when I say huge, I mean 4 seconds separated the top 28 riders.
And Ivo Sure, who we just seen, was 29th.
In fifth, 5 seconds
5
back.
seconds, it's nothing. And
absolutely nothing.
When the bunch is this size, it really does show. Now, Nick Scolari.
Could go well today.
He could indeed be a man to watch today. Definitely a rider who, on the right day, could be in there. I think for me, it's not hard enough for Nick.
Do you?
Yeah.
He does like an extended breakaway, doesn't he? He's had 7 first places on the Sunday Race Club out of 64 participations.
Yes.
Do you know that's not bad numbers?
It's blooming brilliant numbers. I'd be very happy with those full stop, but I think lots of people would be. I think for me, Nick needs a harder race where it's tougher. So he needs this to go hard from the gun. And it's going hard at the moment. The rider's going off the front at the moment. The break just starting to form, and 5 or 6 riders at the front of the group starting to try and go clear. And there is a little bit of looking at each other behind at who's going to do the work here to chase this down. I would be very surprised if a breakaway can take it to the finish today on this race route, but it is not impossible. And there is that chance because we have so many undulations on the way in. My prediction is sprint finishes, but as everybody knows, commentators' predictions are notoriously inaccurate.
Commentators' curses
are a real thing.
Yeah.
The rainbow jersey curse may not be, as proven by a number of our world champions, but the commentators curse, it's definitely a thing. Now, as these riders continue to push on here in Category 3, just taking a little bit of a look, there is a figure up the road.
There is, and it's a figure in blue. John Brune on the front of this pack. Jakub Wojciech and Carsten Mayer are there as well, but they're not at the head of the race. Jan Janicki is there, Nicolas Fournier is there, Mark Gates is there, so is Lucas Johnson. The riders in these packs riding strong.
Well, this is Category 3 underway. Just whilst they are on the move, I'm just going to take the advantage of this little bit of a gap in time, because we do have 10 minutes gap here, to dive into a very special message I need to bring you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very special message I do need to bring you. Because if you are a rider on MyWhoosh, we have got a very exclusive opportunity for you.
Oh, yes. Now I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, indeed. This is to not only meet one of the real legends already of the sport, but also to go ride and go eat with them as well with Tadej Pogačar, the one and only world champion who defended his rainbow jersey in Kigali, multi-time winner, absolutely phenomenal rider, really nice guy. Had the pleasure of meeting him in Abu Dhabi. Didn't get to have breakfast or go for a ride with him, but did get to meet him, and he's absolutely lovely guy. Basically, all you need to do is get on your bike on MyWhoosh and ride on a mission. I'm hoping that Gomez Dalmida is going to be doing this, because this is really important. Jump on board the Chasing Tadej mission. The prize, wait for this, you get to not only meet, ride and dine with Tadej in Abu Dhabi, you go for a community ride with Tadej and the UAE team, Emirates team in Hudaybiya Island. All your flights, transport and your hotels all covered by MyWhoosh. That is if you take the win. And don't forget, you need to complete the mission. If you complete stage 1, you get 1 entry in the prize draw. If you complete stages 1 and 2, you get 3 prize draw entries in there. The mission is open from Monday, 13th of October to the 19th of October. For full details,
when does the prize draw take place?
The prize draw takes place on the 20th with a draw
of October.
Yep. The hotels are booked on the 20th to the 24th, and you fly on the 29th of October. It's the end of the month. Literally, you'll be having breakfast with Tadej Pogacar on the 31st of October.
And you've got to take place with the mission to get an entry into the draw, and then the draw
Indeed, you have.
happens, and the
2
lucky
stages.
the
More you ride, the
lucky
more
winners
in
will
there.
get breakfast with Tadej.
Indeed, and I think, if I remember correctly, it is going to be potentially 5 winners.
Wow! So 5 draws.
5 people taken from the draw. Don't quote me on that one though. If you don't win though, don't forget you will still get some rewards in the world. That is going to be the Chasing Tadej Special Edition badge in the virtual world. You get the virtual Rainbow Quest jersey and the virtual Metrenter 3K carbon white helmet as well. So lots of reasons you can pimp up your ride on MyWhoosh.
I wonder whether
at the same
Fabian
time.
Tapia will taking place.
Jump on board. If you want full details, go onto the MyWhoosh website. Follow MyWhoosh at MyWhoosh on social media. Chasing Tadej mission starts on Monday. You've got from the 13th to the 19th. Fabian, please have a go.
Yeah,
Everybody jump on board and have a go. It's an amazing prize and a fantastic opportunity.
It is, and there are a lot of trophies on that shelf above the door as well in Tapia's Pain Cave area. But Raw Solly on the screen as well at the moment. Cesar Iglesias is there. Giuliano Hack is in the mix. Owen Gordon is there as well. Darren Lim towards the front of the pack. The Category 4 pack are now rolling strongly. 1 or 2 riders distanced off the back of the group. They're coming to one of those small rise sections, which is just before the Abu Dhabi sprint. So at the 8.4 kilometre marker, they're now 700 metres away from the first sprint checkpoint of the day.
So the first sprint checkpoint, the Abu Dhabi sprint checkpoint, category 5. It was Patrick Mortek from Warren from Recancio and Thuft as they went through. We'll have to see who is going to take this out in category 4. Category 6, as we saw earlier on, it was Ola Warren who came through, just going over the top. So who will take this in category 4? Here we go. The wind-up starting. It's a long left-hand sweeping bend to come in to this checkpoint. Already the wind-up coming from Buchner on the front. Hacker Cadiz in contention. Badou's there as well. That's the rider that we are in with at the moment. And Badou's got a good kick on him. He's starting to go at 10 watts per kilo. Has he got the power to overhaul Buchner, who's now at 9 watts per kilo? Badou, I think, is going to not have the power. He's starting to fade. Buchner is as well. Badou is on his way. But look at this. It is going to be a Rafael Buchner who is going to take away the checkpoint prize. He's going to go through in first position. 5 points for Buchner. It's going to be Badou with 4, Hack with 3, Cadiz with 2, and Lim with 1 point, subject to confirmation. Category 4 going through the checkpoint.
Slower than category 5.
So it took them longer to go from the start
to that point in the race than the category 5 race pack. So a steadier start for category 4 than category 5.
No words, apart from to say, category 2, stand by. We're heading in.
We are indeed.
Category 2, let's talk about teams. Let's talk about the teams who have got the requisite number of riders here today. Beast Mode Crew, 4 riders for the Beast Mode Crew, Bankston Theme, Ritter and Walter. Now, the Gloria Victis squad are indeed glorious in victory because they have 5 riders. They are at the top of the tree in terms of numbers of riders in their team. In Category 2, Goddardzi, Bjorkland, Santo, Guerra and Alan Young. Level Elite have gone for the minimum of 3, 3 being
Magic number.
Cahill, Becker, and Niederhauser. And the last team with 3 riders, the UAE clan team, Pablo Popovic, SS, and Mr. X100.
Well, category 2, 58 riders on the start sheets, and we are missing a number of riders because they have progressed to category 1. We'll talk about those shortly, but category 2 get underway. We're in with Bert Ken at the moment, the rider here from Turkey, who is in the mix in category 2 right now. Now, last week, it was Alexei Kalman who took the win from Jonas Bjarhead, Carlos Ospina, Lucas Hoffman and Joshua Haggerty. And yes, it was indeed another sprint, a massive sprint in category 2. 22 riders involved in that sprint. 4 seconds separating the front from the back. And Olivier Simmons in 22nd place, bringing up the back of the group.
Not something that you often say on this show, is it? Olivier Simmons at the back of the group.
No, if I remember rightly, I'm sure Olivier Simmons put in a big attack and just got swamped.
I think you are correct, and he's one of those riders. Is Bigley, aka Ollie, aka Olivier
Simmons.
who has got the joie de vivre to go on the attack, to go on the offensive, and to put in those sneaky attacks. Now, in with Todd Allen Young, part of that Gloria Victis squad, part of the Swedish representation on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club at the moment. Looking pretty chilled out with this race start at the moment, despite there being one or two riders on the front, just trying to ping the pace up a little bit. Todd at the moment, just looking pretty comfy. Am I right in thinking he's had at least one win, hasn't he?
He has indeed had a win on the Sunday Race Cup, one, and 64 participations.
But that, for me, tells you just how tough Category 2
Oh, I know.
is.
I mean, yeah, so he took a win actually on the Alula Adventure Loop back in August. So he's rider on form at the moment. He's had a number of top 10s, 7th places, 8th places, just outside that top 5 regularly.
Well, there of our regular riders, Karen Kane, on our screens, because we have Karen back on the screens once again. One of the founding members of the Headband Club, ever since his MyWhoosh Championship performances back in 2023. And definitely a rider for whom this, once upon a time, I would have said this was his perfect course.
Oh, I don't know. I think...
Once upon a time.
Yeah. But...
Sprint. Sharp climb. Now he's evolved into a more all-round rider, and maybe
it still could go well today.
I know, but I think it may be just as means that there isn't such a thing as a perfect course because he's good on everything. Well, okay, let's dive across to the sprint.
Yeah, and Henrik Oyer is the rider pushing on at the front of the Category 3 race, leading them through that point. Nicolas Fournier in the mix. So is Martin Omdahl. Martin Omdahl, one of the newer riders to the Sunday Race Club, and really racing well.
Yeah, Omdahl part of that level golden squad along with Morgan. They've actually put 2 riders into the top 5. Oyer taking top spot, taking 5 points. Omdahl taking 2nd place and 4 points. Nicolas Fournier taking 3rd place with 3 points. Christopher Morgan taking 4th with 2 points. And Zach Patterson, taking 5th place with 1 point.
And there is Olivier Bigley Simmons, or Ollie Simmons, on your screen right now, right at the front of this Category 2 pack.
You know what I'm going to say?
Pardon?
You know what I'm going to say.
Why?
What's what he said?
Oh, no, don't go there. Lucas Hayland, Benjamin Brignall, Lucas, Camille Danny's in the mix as well. They are all at the front of this Category 2 race. And the pace is pushing on at the moment.
Come on, Ollie, what we want today, nice big kick, an acceleration and a breakaway, please. Somewhere along the race.
Does he have to do that every single week?
No, but he's got the ability to do it every single week, but it just depends on what I think he feels like doing at any given time. Time is ticking, though, because we have got Category 2 well down the road, and it's time for Category 1 to head out onto race route very shortly.
And can I just say, before you do the teams, welcome to Category 1, Matthias Vanhey.
Congratulations, commiserations, depending on which way you look at it when you've gone up to the highest level. Now, let's talk teams who have got numbers. Farmwart Squad, Andreas and Puckett and Noren with 3 riders. 2 teams with 4 riders. The Alpha Joe squad of Turek, Vajasin, Kaminsky and Jones. The Boss Moves Only squad, Osborne, Fink and Safrazedi, but I suspect we're not going to see a certain Jason Osborne, the world champion, on the start line. He should be busy elsewhere, but I think he is there. I can see the jersey.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. That's a white jersey of the world champion.
What's he doing here?
Racing on the best race series that's out each and every week.
Well, there you go. What can you say? But, Kate McLeod took to the start line of the Gravel World Champs yesterday. Jason Osborne's partner in crime. Jason obviously being very supportive there in terms of riding out and wrecking the course and sorting out a bike. Now on the Sunday Race Club in the mix, there is Matthias van Heek. Congratulations, sir, and welcome to Category 1. Qualifying for the World Championships with a phenomenal Stage 3 at the semi-finals. Absolutely doing the business. He will be on the stage in Abu Dhabi in November. And because of that, he progresses to Category 1.
Well, technically, it's because the stats, the numbers, and the power output and his performances merit it. But
Yes.
incidentally, he also will be in the top 20 and be on that stage. I can't wait to see him in action. I think it's well deserved. Matthias van Heet is one of our long-standing riders,
And can I tell you?
and his progression has been. It's been a strong progression.
It has. But I think nobody was more surprised than Van Heet himself.
I don't know, maybe the people that he displaced. Now, I'm just going to dive very quickly in. We are in with the world champion, Jason Osborne, who clearly is in a hurry to get on with it at the moment, already winding up on the front. Joel Lewis has gone with him. These two have a 2-second gap on the rest of the bunch, fast becoming 3 seconds, which contains basically everybody else. And everybody now going, whoa, hang on a minute. We've only just started. What are you doing?
Well, I can tell you, and it has been on social media this week. Jason Osborne has been out and about. Mikhail Kaminsky on our screen at the moment, resplendent in that Alpha Jaw jersey. Talking about jerseys, Jason Osborne's jersey in the Netherlands has told everybody who the boss is.
This was a question. This was a question.
It's always been a question we've always had is who is the boss in Boss Moves Only? Is it Osborne? Is it Vink, Knudsen or Safrazadeh? The Alpha Jaw squad all have the same jersey as Kaminsky shows, and I'm sure we'll see if we go in with Vujasin later. They have the same jersey. Jason Osborne, on the back of his jersey, boss.
I'm not sure that's conclusive.
Oh.
He rides for the Boss Moves Only squad. It might have said boss in big letters, then moves only below it.
No. It clearly said the word boss across his shoulders.
Well,
I think that may be evidence that Jason Osborne is the boss of Boss Moves Only. Well, Michael Vink might want to take the jersey off of his shoulders.
And one rider who's looking to take away the rainbow jersey, Paul Skierski, fantastic rider. Really, really impressed by his performance. Not unexpected in some ways. And we talked very much about Skierski's performances across the MyWhoosh Championships, the stage race there. On the Sunday Race Club into the semi-finals and took away third place in those semi-finals. Absolutely phenomenal performance and definitely a rider I think a lot of people need to watch out for and very much targeting cycling esports now.
Oh, yes. So historically from a mountain biking background, Paweł Skierski, the Polish rider who won the mountain bike marathon championships in Poland and was third in the under-23 mountain bike Olympic race. I mean, he's got some form as a mountain biker to do that in Poland, I'll tell you. But focusing wholly on cycling esports and really changing and adjusting his training to do so.
And paying off in spades at the moment, though. A little bit of work to do for this group. They've got to think about this. We're seeing ones and twos starting to try and go across to that leading breakaway at the front of the race. The gaps just starting to open up. So really, really key for these riders to be in the right place at the right time. Not do too much work too soon, but equally not do too much work too late, because it's really, really all about making sure that you don't let a move go down the road early. Do find, and I've said this before, courses that look easy tend to be raced harder. And that's what we're seeing here already. Now, Daniel Churek, one of our regulars in here, the rider from Czechia at the moment, just tapping that rhythm out nicely, really making sure that he's in this group, holding himself in the draft. You can see that the Watts numbers, well, they are the numbers on the top center. They were in the green, just go to black as he pops right up to the front, then drops back into the green at the moment. Our leading two, though, at the moment, just being left to hang out to dry. Great way to wear out the world champion, isn't it? Let him go down the road and then just hold him there at about 5 seconds.
I don't think you're going to wear him out by that. They've only done 4.2 kilometres.
Well, you will if you do this all the way, except for the last 100 metres.
Um,
Only one place you need to be on the
do you know-
front. That's when you go over the finish line.
Yeah, I know, but I think I'm looking at the riders in the mix, and I think Bjorn Andreasen is about to launch a little counter-attack.
Okay, we'll have to go back to that, see if that happens. Two of our stars of the screen. I don't know if any of them been on the stage. It's Olivier Simmons and Ivan Yuki. Ivan Yuki at Hedera Island at the moment, part of the Abu Dhabi Cycling Club, and that is where you could be riding with. I'm sure Ivan will be down there with the UAE Emirates XRG
with
squad with Tadej Pogacar out on the course. The coach down there, Ivan, well, used to famous people down there and plebs like you and me.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what? We couldn't quite convince Tadej to come into the commentary box for the Sunday Race Club in October last year when he was at the World Championships. He popped down into the MyWhoosh studios when we were doing the Sunday Race Club, and whilst he was right outside the window waving at us and saying hello, we couldn't convince him to put some headsets on and come and join us, could we?
No, much to my chagrin, I could have had a bit of a break.
Well, no break at the moment from Tatu Koivunen because he's on the front of this category 2 pack. Jamie Cahill is in there as well. Olivier Simmons is one of the rider pushing on and trying to bring Koivunen back at the moment. This is the run for the sprint. The checkpoint just around the corner, and Koivunen has gone long here. He now kicks at 10 watts per kilo. Take a look at Tatu Koivunen. We're in with him on the pain cave at the moment, and the work is being done as he drives towards that banner. Notes is coming and coming hard, but Koivunen, I think, has got this timing to perfection. Well, Tatu Koivunen comes through, and he will indeed take the green sprint skin suit. He does indeed pick up 5 points. And just taking a look, it looks like Nathan Guerra has come through for second. He takes 4 points. Henry Notes takes 3. X100 takes 2. And Simmons takes 1. It's a huge group of Category 2 riders going through that sprint together. It's taking me ages to scroll up my screen. If anybody's interested, the live results from the Sunday Race Club are current on the mywhoosh.com website /results. The live race results are on there every Sunday. 47 riders in the leading group in Category 2 at the moment as they go through that 9.2 kilometre marker.
So in and through Osborne in the leading Category 1 on the left-hand side of your screen. That's sprint unfolding for Category 2. Right-hand side of the screen, real battle underway in both race categories. Forza in the lead doing a bit of an Osborne, really, or is Osborne doing a bit of a Forza?
Well, good question. But Jason Osborne still is off the front of that Category 1 race. It's around 4 seconds. Ollie Jones leading on the front of the pack. Yunfei Wu in there as well. But Wu really managing the pace. And in fact, take a look at this. Ollie Jones, well, he's sat at zone 1, zone 2. But the push is now on. And it's Hayden Pucker deciding enough is enough. So is Michael Vink. They've gone for a flyer down the road, and I reckon the rest of the pack will follow them. Ollie Jones on your screen at the moment. Look of concentration on his face. He's tightly in the pack, ensconced in the draft. And for me, this is one of the riders who I think is really getting their form right and peaking at the right time for the World Championships. I think, particularly with the 3 stages that make up the World Championships this year, Ollie Jones could be a serious contender for those rainbow bands.
I don't doubt that. I think Jones's form peaked for the MyWhoosh Stage Race Championships. It then had enough capacity to maybe dip a little bit for the semi-finals and still comfortably qualify. I think he was 4th in the end, 5th in the end. Then he's got time to then pick it back up again rather than trying to hold a peak from the stage race right the way through to the finals. That's a long time to hold top form. He had 2 peaks, 10 peaks, and the dip, his quality is such that the dip is enough to still see him qualify, even in a slump.
A slump.
A
I
slump.
can't ever think of Ollie Jones racing and riding in a slump.
A slump
Last
in maybe form.
I have seen him kick out 18 watts per kilo, hit 18
Yeah,
watts per kilo in a sprint.
yeah.
Phenomenal racing, and I am so looking forward to seeing what he can do. In fact, I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody can do on the start line of the World Championships. But he, for me, is one rider. I think it will be really interesting to watch. Well, yourself, Betty, on your screen at the moment in category 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to a little point that you made
Okay.
there about Ollie Jones, that you can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him either, and you'll be able to see as well. If you are in the UAE, make sure that you go down to watch.
Yes.
It is the middle of November. Go on and get yourselves down. New venue, even bigger. It's 15th of November. Bigger venue than last year, and even
More
bigger stage,
spectators.
more riders on there. Slightly different format, be a slightly quicker run through the show as well. We will be bringing the race action to you from the studio, so we won't be down there in person, so apologies, but we will be bringing you all of that race action, and you can follow the race action on the MyWhoosh YouTube channel. You can also follow all that race action on the MyWhoosh Twitch TV channel. Do make sure you're on there. Emma and I will be putting words to that action. And Emma, I think we will be talking about Ollie Jones a lot.
Well, maybe. Mikhail Kaminsky is a rider we could also be talking
Yes,
about
indeed.
a lot as he heads underneath that sprint banner to pick up the sprint checkpoints. 5 points to Mikhail Kaminsky. Boom. Green skin suit. On it goes. Yunfei Wu is in second place. Michael Vink in third. And Stefan van Elst, and then Ollie Jones round out the top 5. All of those pick up points. But Kaminsky today, that was serious intention going off the front of the pack, leading them through 11 minutes 52 to that point. Category 1, Tatu Koinsinen, we saw him lead through category 2. Henrik Oya led through category 3. Rafael Butcher led through category 4. Patrick Mortek led through category 5. And Ola Warren led through category 6 at that same checkpoint in their respective races.
Each of our checkpoint winners in the categories taking away that prize for the checkpoint and scaled across all of the race categories from category 6 right up to category 1. We're in with category 2. We're in with some of our riders in their pain caves. Thank you, everybody who puts us that picture out each and every week. Really do appreciate it.
Well, we do indeed. Michelle Manchando on your screens in 1, Mark Santo in 2, Giselle Betty right in the middle of the screen, Maciej Mendakowicz in 4, and Olivier Simmons there on the far right-hand side. All of those 5 riders in this category 2 pack at the 13.8 kilometre marker here. It's a fast race today. It might look fairly flat on the course profile when we looked at the map at the beginning, but the action is not flat at all. It's fast, it's furious, it's category 2, and they are racing hard.
They certainly are, and just watching these riders at the moment on the way through, the pressure on the front, you can just see a number of riders have already been distance behind, and that's making it hard behind. And it's the pace that these riders on the front are just keeping high. All these little undulations, you see them, we're on 3.5%, nearly 4% kicker. You can feel that through the turbo. You can feel that extra resistance. It's making life hard. It's making life difficult. It tests the riders, and we see rider after rider struggle just with the pace that's being put down. A brilliant racing, brilliant riding, but definitely taking the sting out of a number of riders' legs, I think, already by the speed here. The climbers are going to be struggling with this pace. So just keeping an eye on the riders as they make their way through here in category 2 as this group continue to push here at the moment. Nearly 20 minutes of racing complete for category 2 at the moment. They were our penultimate category to leave the pens. Category 1 setting off 5 minutes behind. You can participate, jump on board, come in and join Johannes Kinding here. You can see the Swedish jersey jersey hung on the bike and on his shoulders
Double
as well.
jersey.
Double jersey, can't beat it. And great to see him in action at the moment, just out of the saddle in person on the left-hand side of your screen. Right-hand side of your screen, you can see the avatars kicking down here as they try to stay in that group. They're absolutely key here to keep that pressure on and to keep that pace high.
Yeah, it is indeed. Ross Fawcett is in the mix alongside Keeling, and Guerra is there too. So is Godzari and Corrales as well. The pace is really moving on the front here. They're moving at 64 kilometres an hour. They've just come off the small rise and descent and are now back on the flatlands through the roundabout. But the pace in Category 2, they're wanting to keep it fast.
Well, your prediction stroke tip for the day was to stay in the draft today.
Yes, there's a real reason for that, both in the women's race and the men's.
Yep, and I have to say it saves you so much energy if you are new to cycling esports, new to the Sunday Race Club. Each of the riders, when they hide in behind another rider, are not pushing through the breeze. So what numbers top center they go to green at the moment. The riders are all trailing another attack that's gone off the front in Category 2. We're seeing repeated attacks on the way through here. Nick Scolari in bottom left hand side of your screen in Category 3 at the moment, on the move, just winding this up, and he's at 22.4k. So at the moment, just making his way across after the Leeward Desert Climb.
Yeah, the Leeward Desert Climb, all the categories bar Category 1 and Category 2 are up and over that climbing segment. And you can see the polka dot skin suit on the right-hand side of your screen in Category 4. Well, that is, she says, just trying to find where Category 4 came through. Owen Gordon. Gordon picking up 5 points in Category 4. Philip Streel, Darren Lim, Robin Clendenin, and Fabian Tapia rounding out those points in Category 4. In Category 3, well, it was Mads Buster who came through. Wang Quiros, Jun Yu Lin, Dorvin Ellos, and Nicholas Fournier picking up the points.
So those points on the way through, basically meaning that whoever you just heard Emma read out as being the first rider through, because there is one climb segment, not only did they take the climb segment, they take the climb overall. All done, job done. One climb, boom. Thank you very much. Let's take those prizes away.
Well, I'm just taking a look here because Category 5, to that point in the race, bear in mind it's 18.6 kilometres, are motoring. They are only 30 seconds slower through there than Category 3. Okay, Daniel Thiem, Diego Roncancio, Leonard Cadabona, Oswald Gaviria, and Luke Kendall. Category 4, slower.
Oh, Category 4 might have been slower then, but they've wound it up coming into this sprint here at 26 kilometers. Just going to come down underneath the banner, the Sheikh Khalifa Mosque sprint as they go in underneath. They're a real kick. And remember, sprint number 1, it was Bush, I think, who took the first sprint for Category 4. Who's got the second one, Emma?
Butcher.
Okay.
So doing the double, another 5 points for him, cementing that green jersey. Youssef Badao coming through for second, Darren Lim in third, Daniel Cadiz in four, Robin Clendenin staying at the front of that race in 5. Jerry Pippinen on your screen at the moment. He too is right at the front of that race. Part and parcel of that leading group in Category 4, 28 riders in that leading group. Well, Pippinen on your screen at the moment, part and parcel of the leading group in Category 4. They're at the 26.8 kilometre marker. Let's just remember this is a 50.3 kilometre race, and Pippinen neatly in that group. Category 5, well, they are a little bit further up the road at the 30.1 kilometre marker. This really is the most rolling section of the course. We talked about the mid-section at the very beginning, almost splitting this course into thirds, a flat start, a bumpy middle, a flat finale. Category 5 are right on those rollers at the moment, and you can see on the top right-hand corner of your screen the gradient at 4.5% at the moment under the wheels of the Category 5 riders as they continue to move. Category 2, well, Category 2 at 18.9k. They are on the Leeward climb, which is the climb segment, the only climb segment on the course today. And Manchando doing the business, Michelle Manchando at the front of the race at the moment. Nicholas Becker, X100. The three riders clear at the moment from Simmons Oates. They are 6 seconds back. Notes putting in a massive dig at the moment, a huge kick to try and close the gap. But Manchando at the moment, he's got 400 meters to go left on this climb. Becker is coming. X100 is 3 seconds back. The push is on from behind now. Keending is coming as well. Johannes Keending, this rider from Sweden we saw a short while ago on our screens, is absolutely dialing this now, trying to close down the gap.
Oh, this is going to be key. This run in to also line, not just in terms of the section here, the checkpoint and the climb, but also from a point of view the race overall. Nicholas Becker, though, absolutely dialing that on the way through. Becker will take away the points. He'll take away the segment and the overall climb's jersey. But look at the gap that has opened behind now. This is where these four riders now need to think hard. Becker, Mr. X100, Machado, and Keending here. If they get themselves together and then go with Mr. X100, they've got a good chance then, really, of opening up a gap. But they've got to work together. It is doable because we've got another kicker to come as they continue on. We've got the second part of this climb that's not part of the climb segment. But the problem is, it is a tough run now. This is the hardest.
Well, what a
if you divide this race into thirds. First third's not too bad. Second third, this is the hard part.
It is, but I can't believe anybody expected X100 to sit up after the first section of the climb, going into the second part. And Becker came off the power and has really let X100 develop a gap. They need to close this down because at this point in the race, X100 could go, oh, I'm going to time trial for a short while now. We've got a 13-second gap over the main bunch.
Yep.
This group need to come with me if they're coming with me. Then they can share the work, and we could well make it, but take a look at that shot. That shot showed you from the front to the back. This is the final part of the climb. Then they start on the descent, and well, the group could come back, but only if this group at the front don't get their act together, and they haven't, because Nicholas Becker has come back to the group, and Becker could well find himself in trouble now because this pack are moving a lot quicker than Becker.
Yeah, he really needs to accelerate. You can't rely just on the volume of riders as well, because there are gaps in between each and every one of these groups. It's not just one big bunch. If you miss the train coming through, if you don't jump on board, you're going to be in trouble. Really, really key. Make sure that you get that down, jump on board, make sure that you can get in there and get on the draft, and not have to push through the breeze on your own. A really, really aggressive race here in Category 2, as we would expect. This is going to be a fight, and I think for me this is going to be all about making sure that you are in the key positions as you go over now into this tough section. We've got the Sheikh Khalifa Mosque sprint to go for Category 2. Let's see who is going to push there. Don't forget, of course, that when we go from there, we've got a little dip, and then don't want to call it a long climb, but everything is relative in this world, where the highest point is less than 50 meters above sea level. But it is, for me, all about being in position as you come through this tough section. That, and the one position is at the front of in that front group. At the moment, there are riders distance off the back. There is group after group after group. They're in 4s and 5s.
Yeah, this Category 2 race has really lit itself up in this midsection of the race. And the 42 riders that we saw come through the previous checkpoint are not going to be together through the next. In Category 1 at the 19-kilometre mark, Dan Turek, take a look at the concentration and focus on his face. They are on the Leeward climb at the moment, and Turek is doing the business. Now, I don't think Turek was very happy the other day. We were in his pain cave, we were watching him race, and he didn't seem as happy with his performance as he wanted. Today, well, he's making a concerted effort on the climb here. He's got a 7-second gap back to the chase group. This is the group. He's got, well, He's got around 450 metres still to go. Tugels for Yasin, Van Els, Paradians, Wu, Malur, Safrasadi, Skierski, all in this group and riding hard. But Turek is holding that pace at the front and he's holding the group.
He certainly is. And I think for me, Tugels has gone, do you know what? I've looked at this. There is a really simple move here to make, and that is to go for the sprint. Turek needs to get this down. The riders have looked at this and thought, this is the one. I can take away the climb competition and the segment in one go. And that's exactly what Daniel Turek's doing. Smart riding, super smart riding. Daniel Turek, chapeau, hats off to the man. But now he's got to decide how hard does he continue to push. You can see he's continuing to work here. And we know what a performer he is. At the moment, the riders behind have to think, how hard are they going to go behind him? Are they going to chase him for one place in the overall? Do they let him go and then concentrate their firepower on battling against each other? I think the volume is there to pull him back. We're about to go into part two of the climbing category one. Let's take a look at the riders who have taken away the climbs competition overall, because they are our leaderboard climb checkpoint winners.
Yeah, so Dan Turek for the Alpha Jaw squad takes through Category 1. Nicholas Becker, Category 2 for Level Elite. Mads Buster, Category 3. Owen Gordon leading through Category 4. Daniel Thiem leading through Category 5. And Xavier Maillard leading through Category 6.
So those riders taking away those polka dot skin suits as the leaders in the climbing competition, and will be winners if they make it into that finishing line. Four of our sets of riders, four of our categories on your screen. Categories 1 and 2 at the left and right hand side at the top. Categories 5 and 6 on the left and right hand side of the bottom of your screen. We've just seen Alexei Tisanu, I think it is indeed, on the left of your screen with Gregor's Gacek on the right-hand side. There's a lot of riders just having that solo dig, not managing to get 3 or 4 riders down the road because everybody thinks that's dangerous and chases it immediately. But when you've got one rider down, you've got the opportunity maybe just to steal a march because everybody thinks, oh, one rider won't make it. And then you get distance, and it does pay off every now and then. A rider will solo to victory.
They will, but around 15 kilometres left to go in the race, in that Category 5 race. It's a long solo effort, particularly with the type of terrain and the 2 sprint checkpoints that are coming. And the next sprint checkpoint is indeed coming for the Category 6 race. They're at 36.9 kilometres. They are 900 metres out from the penultimate sprint checkpoint today here on the Seven Gems course in Arabia. Orlando Montoya is the rider we are in with at the moment, but he's not the rider off the front of the pack. Ola Warren is now running in towards the back of Gregor Gasiak, who is indeed the rider at the front of the Category 6 race. But, well, there's going to be a second wind here, I think, because now going over the top is Mikel Kozel. Kozel, Escobar. Escobar is not chasing Kozel. Mikel Kozel has gone for this. This is a massive launch. The chase from behind not coming yet. Ola Warren trying to push, trying to keep that green skin suit, making sure he goes through in second place. But Mikel Kozel is going for the points now. Up onto the bridge. Well, they've still got 300 metres to go.
They have, but surely this is going to be enough. The run down here. Can Warren wind this up enough on the run in? You can see the amazing mosque in the distance here as they head in. As Kozel makes his way in towards the line. He's got the gap on Escobar. You can see him heading into the archway. Here he comes. Well, great riding at the moment, 37.9. The distance ticking through here as he comes in to that 38-kilometre marker, which is our checkpoint. Great riding and taking away the maximum points there. Warren is going to come through behind. He maximises his score. Gibson, Escobar in the mix of 4 riders just clear of Arago there. But Kozel, the man with the gap, 10 seconds. That's a good lead.
It is. Can he hold it? Maybe
No.
not.
No, sadly not.
Well, X100 has caught Marvin Angarita. Marvin Angarita, we've spoken about him before, the Colombian racer on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, who is a tandem pilot for the para tandem in Colombia. Off the top of my head, I think they finished 7th. I want to say
At the
in
World
the
Championships.
World Championships in the road race. They had a brilliant race. They really did. But with X100, the leader of the Category 2 race.
In tandem with Mr. X100 at the moment on the race on the race route. Different race categories, but nicely in the mix at the moment. So at the moment, Mr. X100 leading Category 2. Nathan Guerra now with Tattoo Coyston just thinking they do need to get onto the wheels here. They're very aware that you've got a checkpoint coming up here. This is the kick for it, 26.2k, and Guerra's going to take it in the sprint there. Nathan Guerra will be taking away the points, and I think that means that he has got the green skin suit as well. So sprint leader at the moment. You are Nathan. You're allowed a little punch of celebration in the air for that.
Concentration on his face there, but he did indeed take second place in the first sprint, first place in the second sprint, which gives him that green skin suit. So Guerra going through in 1. Pardek going through in 2, Coyston in 3, Manchando in 4, X100 in 5. I think had Tattoo Coyston been one place higher up, they'd have been battling for that green skin suit in terms of points. There is indeed one, well, actually, there's 2 more to go, isn't there?
Yeah, 2 more to go.
Because we're in Category 2, not Category 3 that we just seen go through. But it's all right, I'm just confusing myself, don't worry.
Lots of numbers.
2, yeah.
You're the professor. You're meant to be good with numbers.
I know, but sometimes
it doesn't always.
Oh.
Work. Now, Mika Rustimaki, Mika, if that is not a green screen and that is actually where you are riding at the moment, I think
he's got leg warmers on, so I think it could be real. He could really be outside in the forest.
No, the clouds aren't moving.
I'm looking to see what's moving. I don't think they're.
No.
The trees aren't blowing in the wind either, are they?
No, the clouds are moving.
Are they?
The clouds are moving. Yes, they are. The clouds are moving.
There you go. He really is outside.
Mika Rustimaki, you win the prize for the best pain cave of the day today. Unless it's a video, which is also possible on a green screen. But I think he is outdoors. I think he's out and riding in the forest of Finland. Sir, you are an absolute legend.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
He may not be in Finland, though. He may be on his hollybobs.
I think that's a Finnish forest.
Well,
it's a birch forest.
It's very autumnal.
Birch are pioneer trees that often go into freshly felled areas or areas which have just been reclaimed.
Really?
Yes, they're one of the pioneer species of tree, one of the first to settle and the fastest growing.
Well, at 25.2 kilometres, Yunfei Wu now finds himself on the front of the Category 1 race. They are coming up to the second sprint checkpoint of the day. It is still some way in the distance, but Wu now putting in a huge attack here. And on a fairly flat section, Osborne, Tugels, Jones, Van Elst, Vink, Paradians, all in the chase group. And no real response coming. They're wide across the road. Wu, well, testing his legs. So Yunfei Wu goes down the road at the 25.6 kilometre marker. The next checkpoint is around 700 metres away. That is the next sprint checkpoint. At the Abu Dhabi sprint checkpoint, it was Mikhail Kaminsky who picked up 5 points. Wu picked up 4. So this is a long-range run, I think, from Wu to go through that checkpoint and pick up those sprint points. Now the action starts. Michael Vink, Palskirski, Osborne and Kaminsky. The green jersey is going because the green jersey too wants those points. But Wu has done it. Wu's gone underneath the banner in 1. What a move from Yunfei Wu. Caught everybody napping, really, and goes through and picks up those 5 points. Michael Vink goes through in second. Palskirski in third. Jason Osborne in fourth. Kaminsky gets 1 point in that sprint competition. Oh, Yunfei Wu, I think, now takes the green skin suit off of Kaminsky's shoulders.
Oh, interesting moves here at the Sheikh Khalifa Mosque sprint checkpoint. You can see each of our individual checkpoint winners at that point. Wu, Aguera, Wojciech, Bush, Warren, and Warren. The Warren dynasty continuing their sprint success. But nice moves by Wu. And as you say, smart tactics, sir.
Yeah, it really was smart tactics. And the Category 1 pack now down to 14 riders. Wu back in the pack, Pucker alongside him, Paradians in the mix with Tugles as well. And green skin suit on the shoulders of Yunfei Wu.
Well, two riders at the front of Category 1 on the left-hand side of your screen. One rider at the front of Category 2. That is Mr. X100 on the attack at the moment on the tunnels as they make their way in and through. He has got a reasonable gap. And interestingly, it is Peter Milostic and Michel Machado who are leading the charge behind. The gap is still there. And this is one of those sections at 29.9 that I kind of liked earlier because this is one of those. This is that sort of long climbing section, that mid section, which is really going to test the riders. Now, let's dive in with Category 5.
And Andrew Persner.
Yeah, the Canadian rider at the moment with a 15-second lead at the front of Category 5. Interesting moves at the 40-kilometre mark.
New rider to the Sunday Race Club as well. Recent addition, Persner.
Indeed, and I'm going to tell you that is going to be a kitchen in my room recognition.
In your room recognition, well, Persner on the front of the Category 5 race. He's 14 seconds clear of Braun and Connell. It's a big group actually behind him, and but a significant gap at the 41-kilometre marker. He's got around 9k to go, and it is fairly flat lands. He'll go through the Yas Marina Circuit sprint at the 47.4-kilometre marker, and then it's a 2.9k run to the finish. The question really is not what does Persner do, because he's out of sight up the road, is what does this chase group do? Because at the moment, there's Zone 1, steady state, bit of recovery going on here.
Yeah, they can't leave it too long. 9k is a long way on your own, but there's no massive hills. There's nothing that's daunting.
No, not if you set your rhythm.
No, and Persner looks like he was nicely sat on a time trial rhythm there, just tapping out that pace. I think we could see Persner make life hard because the problem is there's too many riders.
I don't know if that's a problem.
No, it is because everybody wants somebody else to take it up. Everybody does. No one wants to expend the energy, and all the time they hesitate. The problem is if you are the rider here who does the chasing, you're burning energy that the others aren't.
Yeah, and the likes of Marius Fossid in the middle of your screen at the moment will want somebody else to do the chasing, but he'll want to be in there at the end of the race. And I say that as he comes to the fore of the pack and tries to encourage others to close this gap down.
Well, he needs it to come to a sprint.
He does.
And at the moment, with Persner on the road for what is now 23 seconds, it's not coming down to a sprint. So, Marius, you need some allies up there in this chase, this pursuit.
They're not responding, I tell you. It is a group of Yeah, they don't want to churn.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Nobody wants to work, Marius.
Yeah, Marius needs to turn about here. They need to take the turns, and he's prepared to do his turn. He's just indicated that. But at the moment, it is a minority that are doing that. And it's just handing away time. You're just burning the time, guys. Fossey very, very aware of that. I'm not sure that the rest of the group, though, are in a position where they're able to do that. Let's see what happens.
I think they're more sat there thinking about second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Oh, but there was a word I wanted to use, began with L, ended with S, and it's got O's in the middle, but I'm not going to say it.
Don't say that.
Because, well, you are. Second place is first loser.
No, it's not.
You're the first person who lost.
You're not. You're in the race. That's a win in my book.
Second is a win. No,
Being
a win is a win.
In the race is a win.
Okay. It is.
Well, I'll tell you something. The launch is now off the front because Marius Fossil has gone, okay, you don't want to do it. I'm doing it. You can sit behind me and you can stay where you are. I'm going.
And now
Good lad.
But this is what he's done. It's now provoked a response now. Look at this.
Has, because they had to respond. They couldn't just sit and let him go off the front. Luke Allport is the rider responding. Steinholm is in there. And now they have to work. Fossil will want to come back off the pace and let somebody pick it up. And Luke Allport going over the top.
So Allport goes over the top. This could make a great breakaway if they don't bring the whole group back. But this is what it's taken. The request didn't work. So sometimes when the requests don't work, well, you have to be proactive and instigate a reaction. And that's what happened there. By the way, it's not my phrase that second place is first loser. It belongs to a world champion.
Wow.
That's where it comes from. It is a multi-time world champion. So there you go. Who's far more qualified about winning the night ever will be, even in my wildest dreams.
It's all a matter of perspective. My perspective
Yes.
doesn't allude to that.
My perspective was always from the back of the bunch, but there you go.
Well, at the moment, we've got Category 3 and Category 4 on our screens. Category 4 on the right-hand side, just after the 40-kilometre marker. Category 3 not quite there yet. Category 3 at 38.9k. They've just gone through the penultimate sprint, and Omdahl picked up 5 points. Oya picked up 4. Patterson picked up 3, Wojciech picked up 2, and Stevenson picked up 1 point at that point in time. And Trent Stevenson continuing to do the business, driving on at the front of the race.
So Stevenson going through the sprint, but continuing to put the pressure onto this group at the moment, just making life harder for everybody. We're just in with Patrick Bloom in person and in avatar form, currently third on the road in Category 3, looking to make sure that nobody goes clear, that he's in the right place, in contention at the front of the race here at the moment. Bloom nicely tucked in here. 1 or 2 riders on the front continuing to push. And we've seen lots of little skirmishes, but very few decisive moves.
Well, you'd want to skirmish in Category 3. There are 40 riders still in that group.
No, I think for me, you want to decimate the group. Really, skirmishing is only going to lose you 1 or 2. You want to make this really hard. You want to put in some really big moves and really spring this group apart, because at the moment, the problem is that the sprinters can sit here all day long and then just attack and do the lazy move, do a map move.
I can tell you, Jakub Wojciech, who went through in 4th place, if anybody's noticed his team today, he's called himself Too Many Flat Races. I think Wojciech is after some hills.
We have had a number of flat races, but we have got a lot further distance. It's a real mix, and that is what tests our riders. We're in with Juan Guarin, possibly with the second best view.
That's a great view out the window, isn't it?
That's a great window.
I know, but it's also some great racing and great riding from Juan Guarin as well at the moment, right in the mix. In fact, he's sat on Wojciech's wheel at the moment at the front of this chasing group in Category 3.
You can't discount him at all from this. I think he could well be the man who has that kick that is required. Henry Oya proving that he's got the pace at the moment, currently wearing the green jersey of the sprint leader in Category 3. You can see that skin suit taking the right-hand turn in towards Abu Dhabi on our signpost here, going into town once again down the side here. Ricky Kittle in the mix at 40 kilometres covered, just over 40k done of our race distance of 50.3k at the moment. Still plenty of distance left, about I reckon in a fifth of the race distance. Right. Let's see who is going to take away a top spot in all of our race categories. Category 6, the furthest down the road at the moment, at the 46.3 kilometre mark of this big group of riders that contains our climbs leader and sprint leader, currently into the Yas Marina complex, if I'm not much mistaken, and just taking the sweeping left-hand turn here on the way through. They are indeed in Yas Marina, somewhere you can go ride if you are lucky enough to win the Chasing Taddy mission. Well, do you know what? You could go ride, because it's not all that far down the road from Hudarit to get to the Yas Marina. Another of the facilities that are open, not just to Formula 1 cars, but of course to
bicycles.
Bikes. So many great facilities, so many great places to ride, so many kilometres and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometres of bike paths, dedicated cycling roads. I'm hesitant to call them even cycle paths. They're cycling roads, and of course the Yas Marina circuit opened up. Right hand side of your screen on the Yas Marina circuit, Category 6 leaders. Left hand side, Well, it is a person who broke clear of the rest of Category 5 at the moment. As we see a move being made here by Warren on the chase at the moment. He's trying to close down Slabosh. This is for a last checkpoint sprint at the 47.4k marker. Warren overhauls Slabosh here with that kick, with that pace. He comes off the pressure. He knows he's got the momentum. Cool as you like. I tell you something. Knew he got the job done. Eased it off. Thank you very much. Maximum points.
I'll just take a breather whilst the pack comes back.
Well, he's got 7 seconds. That's what a great sprint can do. 7 seconds.
Yeah, I know. And I tell you something, they're only 2.9k from the finish. It's going to be fast and furious all the way to the line now in Category 6. David Slabush, Ola Warren, Sebastian Escobar and Andrew Bain leading the charge from behind. But these two riders now with a 4-second advantage. Warren not wanting to do any work, though. He wants to recover because there could well be, there probably is going to be, another big sprint very shortly. And this group are coming from behind. So Andrew Persner from Category 5 still with a break. 20 seconds it is back to the chase scoop. So Andrew Persner going underneath that final sprint banner. He's 2.9k from the finish with a 22-second gap. I'm not sure they can do very much about it, but Joel Warren is trying to get to the front of that pack behind because he wants those points to keep that green skin suit and win the sprint competition.
And this is, for me, what's really key. He went in through that sprint checkpoint. It was still 20 seconds. He pulled back 3 on the sprint. That's not going to be enough. And there's no concern to chase too many riders behind, all looking at where they're going to be in the sprint, looking to save energy. It's left Persner out the front. Persner's got it. Job done. Thank you very much. He's just got to make it to that finish. He should be able to tick those kilometers down. I don't think he will be pulled back. Category 6 looks to me like Escobar just on the escape at the moment. He's looking to try and go for a long one at the moment in Category 6. Persner is on the long one, even longer one in Category 5, bottom left-hand side of your screen. Top right-hand side of your screen at Category 4. Well, at the moment, big group just coming over the bridges at the 46-kilometer marker. And at the 43k mark, well, at the moment, looks to me like Bucharesti is the rider who's got the gap on Wojciech and Co. 9-second breakaway at the moment. So plenty of riders on a solo breakaway, utilizing the riders in front.
Yes.
Very smart riding, guys. Love it.
Yes. Oh,
Definitely.
let's have a round of applause in the studio.
Was. I'm absolutely loving it because it's super smart. Use the rest of the riders. Use that draft. Category 6 at the moment.
Yeah, Escobar is 9 seconds out, and he's got 1.3k to go. 9 seconds. This is going to be close, and this is all about what this smaller group do behind and how much they want to push and when they want to push and how much they look at each other and expect somebody else to do the work. Well, at the moment, Sebastian Escobar is benefiting from that.
Who's going to blink first in that chase group? Who is going to go? Do you know what? We're all fighting for second place if we don't get a move on here. How late can we leave it? Race finish distance 50.3k, less than 1 kilometer to go. There's 800 meters to go for Escobar. The gap at the moment between Escobar and the chasers, it's showing at nearly 200 meters. That Escobar has escaped.
He has indeed. Sebastian Escobar has done an absolutely brilliant job. He's sat at a big, strong time trial pace, knowing he was within around 1.5 kilometres of the finish, and he has extended his gap over the rest of the pack. He's got 500 metres less to go. In fact, less than that, now 400. He's got a 17-second gap, and the pack have not even woken up behind yet. The pack are going to see the leader from the Category 5 race, Andrew Persner, behind. We're going to have a solo winner in Category 6. We could have a solo winner in Category 5 as well today. Sebastian Escobar, he can see the UCI banner. Brilliant work, Sebastian Escobar. Absolutely amazing. Chapeau, sir. Taking the win in Category 6. Sebastian Escobar breaking away from the group today. Not a rider in sight. Well, the chase is on. Orego versus Tigert for second place. Orego comes over the top of Stefan Tigert. Julio Orego is going to take second place. Stefan Tigert will take third. Petra Truba, I think, will take fourth today in that Category 6 race. And Xavier Maillard takes fifth. Well, Andrew Persner is on our screen at the moment. The Canadian rider on the Sunday Race Club sees the UCI banner broken away from the rest of the pack. He's got a 5-second gap to the chase behind. Andrew Persner, 5 seconds is all you need for the win. Category 5, number 1, as the chase is on behind from Demanuan and Fossi. Persner hangs over the saddle, over the bars. The win behind Marius Fossi takes second place today. Matt Smithson in the sprint as well takes third. Jonathan Cridland takes fourth. And Josh Lipka, what a move, takes fifth place today.
So Litka, after his move up from Category 6 to Category 5, puts himself into the top of 5 there behind him. Allport, Cadabona chasing hard. Big group of riders as we expected as they came in. The riders working their way out and around this Yas Marina circuit to take themselves into our race finish at the 50.3k marker. And a ferocious race in Category 5. They have consistently been quicker to the checkpoints than Category 4 for the vast majority of this race. And it shows with the time gap of the Category 4 riders at the moment, only at the 48-kilometre marker. And you saw how close Category 5 and 6 were coming into that finish. So, big group. Can anybody emulate Category 5 and Category 6, put in a late breakaway or even an early breakaway? You've probably still got time for something that counts as early at this stage.
Well, early maybe, but Paolo Kirchner in this Category 4 pack, and a bit of a push coming on that rise. They are still trying to break riders off the back of the group because it's still a significant size. But Cadiz, Robinson, Badal, Kirchner, Lim, Inglesi, Hernandez, all in this group. Conrad Fenderich is here as well. Adrian Gonzalez is in the mix. Roel Solly, Ola Solar is here. Jerry Pippinen is in the mix. Category 4, well, at the 48.6-kilometre marker, they are coming into the finale, into the run to the finish. The group all still together, holding it tight across the road. Everybody's looking at each other at the moment. This could well be a sprint finish here today. 1.5 kilometres to go now. Who's going to go long? We're in with Kirchner, Kabani, Pulgarin and Arievi. Now, take your eyes peeled. Carlos Arievi is a phenomenal time. Well, his timing is great, is what I'm supposed to say, or what I'm trying to say. So keep your eyes on all of these, whether it's Arievi, Pulgarin, Kabani or Kirchner. All of those riders are going to want the finish here today. They've got 1,000 metres to go to the finish line here on the Seven Gems course in Arabia. This is a big bunch sprint in the offing. Julian Hertz is here as well. Polacca is in the mix. Never discount Jussi Polacca either. He's got a turn of speed about him as well. Daniel Cadiz is there too. We're watching. We're waiting. So are they.
Who is going to hold the nerve? Who can get the timing right? Who can launch? This is about having that kick. Kirchner, the man under pressure, having to launch twice, but he's not the man who goes first.
No, it's Daniel Cadiz on the front of the pack at the moment. Daniel Cadiz has gone off the front for a long run to the line. He's 600 metres out. Everybody else is holding the watts, holding the power, but Cadiz has gone. Inglesi's now unleashes the fire. Cesar Inglesi's goes, but so does Youssef Badal. Pippinen is there. Natari is there. Kirchner is waiting. Hernandez now goes at 10 watts per kilo, but Cadiz is still on the front of the pack. Are they going to catch Cadiz? They've not sighted the line yet. There it is around the corner. Here comes Natari and Badal. Pippinen, Hernandez. Kirchner now goes. Kirchner now goes. Who's going over the top? Natari's gone over the top. It's Natari from Badal. Giacomone, Natari goes. The Italian rider takes the win. Wow, Arievi comes through as well. That was one phenomenal sprint.
Well, let's confirm that for you. Giacomo Natari of Italy taking top spot from Youssef Badal in second place. Behind him, the rider taking away third place is going to be Carlos Arroyev, followed by Julian Hertz in fourth, and Conrad Federich in fifth. Paolo Kirchner taking sixth place. Hernandez seventh. Inglesi eighth. Lim in ninth. 10th place going to Cadiz with that brave move going off the front. Big bunch coming in all together. Just ahead of this massive bunch in Category 3 who are heading towards the finish fast.
Yeah, 22 up sprint in Category 4. Looking like we're going to see, well, there were 40 riders at last count in this Category 3 race. We got a rider down the road at the moment, I think, in this Category 3 race, just off the front of the 49.2 kilometre marker. We have indeed, it's Buchowski on the front here, but Nick Squillari is now coming. Squillari is coming fast. He's got Max Stedman with him and Che Holweiler. Holweiler now opening up. Montoya is coming through too, fast and furious. Buchowski's got 3 seconds. Squillari, Holweiler, Stedman. Buchowski, can he hold this? He's got to make that turn. He's got to take that left-hand corner, but Squillari is coming. Omdahl now starting to move, so is Montoya. They're coming up thick and fast onto the back of Buchowski. Buchowski, I don't think is going to hold this. I think we're going to see a second move here. Montoya, Karlstrom, Holweiler and Squillari. Squillari looks to me like he's out of this now. He's checking his phone, but Montoya is coming, so is Stevenson. Elos is coming too. Dorven Elos, 11 miles per kilo from Elos. Omdahl is coming as well. Schledeck is in the mix too, but Elos and Omdahl launches again. Can Elos or Omdahl make this? Who's going to come through to start with? I think this is Omdahl from Elos at the moment. That's the UCI banner. Omdahl is right at the front of this. Mads Buster now comes over the top with a massive kick. Mads Buster comes out of the pack in the polka dot skin suit to take the win. Elos in 2, Omdahl in 3. I think Guarin takes 4.
What a run for the line. Phenomenal sprint, and the timing, well, that saying that I used earlier, you only need to go to the front when you hit the line. Buster left it late. It was literally the last 5 meters that he took the race lead. Buster in 1, Elos in 2, Omdahl in 3, Guarin in 4, Brook taking 5th, Quiros taking 6th, Power taking 7th, Fournier taking 8th, Lynn taking 9th, Almeida taking 10th place there. The moves are going all the way through, and riders who are right at the front on that run in getting swamped on the way through. It was a huge sprint.
40 riders.
40 riders. A phenomenal bunch sprint there, but the timing being right there for Buster, who came in through to take away top spots, and he also took the climb jersey as well, so nice mix.
Nice mix. So doing the business on the Leeward climb, doing the business at the end of the race, keeping his powder dry in between.
Yep. Use your energy wisely. Now, using the energy wisely can sometimes be taking a breakaway up the road. Just taking a look on our screens at the moment, and as you can see on the right hand side, 200 meters clear of the chasers, we have 3 riders: Mitchell Machado, Mr. X100, and Phil Graves.
Ho-ho!
Phil Graves and Mr. X100, regular breakaway riders. They've got a very strong rider in Michel Machado, a Portuguese rider with them for company. I think that is one of the most dangerous breakaways I've seen for a long time, and I'm not sure what the rest of the group are doing. Brignall now starting to put the pressure on to try and pull the group back, maybe even to just break across to them at the moment. He's got Rusty Mackey in front of him, who is going to give him a little bit of draft, but he's in a different race category. So I suspect he's going to see the Category 2 riders come sweeping past. Brignall, Simmons, Kaplinski, Alan Young, Fell, Santo, and Co. all in this big group. At the moment, though, Brignall's the one doing the work. The rest, they're across the road having a chat.
A bit like Nick Squillari was, sat up messaging somebody on his phone.
He knew he wasn't in it.
No, well, when you're not in it, you're not in it. And when you don't want to be in it, you don't have to be. But Benjamin Brignall in Category 2 is the rider we're in with at the moment. They're at the 46.1 kilometre marker. That final sprint checkpoint comes at the 47.4 kilometre marker. So they're 1.2k out from that checkpoint. Toward Alan Young, just doing up his shoes, tightening them up. Nice move.
Oh, classic sprint.
That tells me he's up for a sprint today. Mark Santo is in the mix. Nathan Guerra up and out the saddle, dancing on those pedals. Khan Kayan in the mix. never discount Khan Kane when it comes
No,
to a sprint finish.
definitely not.
And never discount Olivier Simmons. In fact, any of those 5 riders on the screen could well do the business today. Ross Fawcett, another rider in here who's getting his sprint timing to perfection again and really getting back on form. The gap, however, Manchando, X100 and Graves, 28 seconds. Well, it's 28 seconds and around 250 metres at the moment. The group behind are going to need to start motoring if they want to bring this trio back into the fold. Manchando, Graves and X100 seemingly working very well together. Well, on the left-hand side of your screen is the leading group in the Category 1 race. And there's a push on the front because Jason Osborne, Maciej Pałskirski, Michael Vink, Bjorn Andreasen, Ollie Jones, Hayden Pucker, Yunfei Wu, Leonard Chugels, all in this lead group. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 riders in the leading group in Category 1 now.
So just watching these riders making their way in towards the finish. Now we start to see a move on the front here. Yunfei Wu, well, he's caught them napping once. He's looking to catch them napping once again in the run in to this sprint at the moment. He's gone a long way out from the banner, but you know what?
It worked for him last time.
It did, and out of sight, out of mind is an absolutely critical saying. And at the moment, you can see he's gone early. For me, Wu now, he's got nothing to lose by just continuing this.
Well, I think there's a number of things here, isn't there? Wu's obviously made a decision today that the sprints are his thing, and he's going to utilise the sprints here to really pick that power up and aim for that green skin suit, and he's doing a great job. Tick. Job number 1 done. He's also making others chase him now because Jason Osborne can't let Yunfei Wu get down the road with a big gap like that. So Jason Osborne now closing the gap.
And he could close it down fast enough for Wu not to take this away. He comes around the corner. That banner is still a fair distance down. The archway just comes into sight. The speed that Osborne is closing is dangerous here. Wu is still only at 2 seconds. Has Wu got enough to hang on? He's just coming, weaving his way in between these 2 riders in front here. Osborne is coming, but Wu, I think, will just hang on. But you saw the danger. Osborne did not want to let Wu go down the road. He didn't want to let that gap go too big. He wasn't so bothered about the sprints. He was more bothered that he didn't give away a time gap to Wu.
That's what he was looking at closing down. And the rest of the Category 1 group. So 9 riders chasing Wu at the moment. Wu in that green skin suit. So don't think he's a Category 2 rider because he's not. He's wearing green shorts and a number 1 on his back. These riders are in the Category 2 race. Phil Graves, X100, Manchando. They are clear of the chase group. Last check, it was 28 seconds they had on the chase group. And Manchando doing a fabulous job today, the Portuguese rider, with X100 and Graves. They are in the mix and they are continuing to move strongly at the 49.2 kilometre marker. They're coming up to what would be the 1K to go banner, should there be one. But there isn't. So with 1 kilometre to go, 3 riders leading the Category 2 race.
So at the moment, 3 riders with that gap, 3 very, very strong riders who have got the ability to stay clear. Can they stay clear, though? It's a big, big ask of 3 riders against that group, but with 26 seconds and 0 distance left for me, it is a job done. I don't think we're going to see anybody able to close that gap down. For me, this now is about who will take this out. Will it be Machado? He's got a great kick on him. He's got a big sprint, and he's a rider that we can see in person. Missed X100 and Phil Graves, real long distance specialist for me. And I think that is where they had the right rider because he was prepared to work, but they've got the wrong rider because he's likely to give them a very, very hard time. Machado now starts to wind this up on the run in towards the line in Category 2.
Well, he does indeed, and there is the UCI banner. Manchando, Graves. Graves going to go over the top. What a move by Phil Graves. It's been some time since Phil Graves has won a Sunday Race Club, but he does today. Phil Graves takes the win from Manchando from X100 in that Category 2 race, and this is the pack behind. It's Jakob Bjorklund who's dialing it on the front here. here. Bjorklund pushing on strongly. Ibrahim is there. Milostic is there. The push is coming, but the riders here thick and fast across the line. This is category 2, and I think it's going to be Bjorklund who's going to pick up 4th place today. That was some move. Jakob Bjorklund takes 4th. Jonas Bjarhead takes 5th. Rick Van Erck takes 6th. Daniel Mundell takes 7th. Jan Kaplinski takes 8th. Pardek takes 9th. And Kane takes 10th.
Well, there your top 10. The full results on www.mywhoosh.com/results. All those results provisional until you see that official blue stamp of approval when everybody's verification processes are complete. Category 1 on the run in towards the finish. Skiski, Woo and Tugles with a little bit of a gap here.
Yeah, and Ollie Jones has just hit 16 watts per kilo to close that gap down. And Bjorn Andreasen now running onto Jones's wheel and taking the draft, trying to move. But Jones is absolutely lighting his fire here. Skiski, Woo and Tugles at the front. The 3 riders with the gap. It's Skiski who's gone over the top. He's after his first Sunday Race Club win. Woo is there. They've got to come round the corner before they see the finish line. And this is a big push now from Ollie Jones. Jones comes up and over the top at 13 watts per kilo. Jason Osborne tries to answer him. Ollie Jones is riding away with this. Osborne can't catch. Fink is coming. It's Osborne and Fink right behind. Who's going to take this? It's Jones, I think, from Fink from Osborne. What a move. What a race. Absolutely on fire.
Oh, so close on the line. What a ride. What a sprint finish. Skiski tried to hold them off. He couldn't do so. And then the power of Osborne came. Jones came. Finks came. Your result?
4 seconds separating the top 8 riders in the Category 1 race. Ollie Jones closed the gap and kept on going, taking the win in 1 hour, 4 minutes and 58 seconds. I think that's a course record. Michael Vink coming through for 2nd place, pipping Jason Osborne literally on the line. That was not even a tyre. Leonard Tugles taking 4th. Bjorn Andreasen taking 5th. Yunfei Wu taking the sprint and the 6th place overall. Paul Skierski taking 7th today. Hayden Pucker taking 8th place. Skierski also taking that polka dot skin suit for the climb competition.
So great riding, less than a second separating the riders. In fact, less than a 10th of a second separating the top riders. 0.83 of a second. 0.083 of a second separating first to 3rd place. Justin Kaminski rounding out the top 10, 9th and 10th places respectively. The full results on www.mywhoosh.com/results. Qualifier race number 2 done and dusted. And that means that our mission is going to be to get the voices recovered. I'm going to be heading across to the World Gravel Championships very shortly indeed, so you can catch up with me there. You are on a mission, though, to get on your bike, jump on board, download MyWhoosh and get on that Chasing Tadej mission. We need you to go ride with Tadej, get into the competition. All of the details online at mywhoosh.com. Make sure you're there. Give yourself the chance for that fantastic prize. Hotels, flights, transport, all covered by MyWhoosh to go ride with Tadej Pogačar. Emma's already itching to be there and ride. I suspect, though, that it's going to Emma will be disqualified from entering the competition. Sorry, Emma.
Oh,
but
that's fine. I can cope with that.
You can live with that. You have had the pleasure of meeting Tadej before. So jump on board, whether that's chasing missions, whether that's escaping zombies, or whether that is going to be getting on board for qualifier race number 3. That will be coming to you next Sunday. Emma and myself, Matt Payne, will be bringing you all of the race. This is going to be all about what they can do. Will they get their 2nd qualifying ride in for that team competition? For Emma at Biking_Emma, you come in and watch me. It's at Matt Fixer Paint on Instagram. You can follow MyWhoosh at MyWhoosh on social media. Thank you for watching. Thank you to the riders for keeping us entertained, and a massive thank you to all of the team behind the scenes.
Yes.
Not only who put the race together and the game together, but the broadcast team who, as far as I'm concerned, are the best in the business. Thank you very much, gents. From Emma, myself, and all the team, stay safe. Get your entries in. We will see you
next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.